have won 7 in a row. It's their 4th different win streak of at least 5 games this season. And they have been hitting the baseball. So Brandon Morrow is going to have to be on this game as he takes the ball for his 10th start of the season. Morrow's 0-1 with a .413 earned run average in 4 starts since winning his last time at Minnesota. That was back on May the 15th. Pitched 6 very good innings in his last outing versus Kansas City, giving up just 2 hits and 1 unearned run in a game the Blue Jays would eventually lose in 11 innings to the Royals 3-2. Defensively for the Blue Jays this afternoon, in the outfield, Patterson, Davis, and Bautista. They welcome back Escobar at shortstop. He was out the last couple of days with a quad problem. Mike McCoy will get his 6th start at second base as Aaron Hill gets the day off. Adam Lind over at first base after the DH last night. Today's battery, Morrow and Molina. As you see, Escobar getting ready, positioning himself at shortstop to get the start this afternoon.
And hopefully he's a little bit quicker than we saw yesterday in the pregame drills.
Yeah, it's good to see him back. Mike McCoy did a great job, made a couple of great plays early in the ballgame yesterday. John Farrell telling me today that he needs to give Aaron Hill some time off. So Mike McCoy, who did a good job yesterday defensively, will make his 5th start at a different position this afternoon. He has started in center field, 3rd, short, second base, and DH for the Blue Jays.
Mike McCoy got that start at shortstop yesterday in place of Escobar. In fact, 2 straight games. It was a 3rd start on the year. So Mike McCoy now starting to be pretty valuable at a number of positions for the Blue Jays. Could be their number 4 outfielder when you consider all the things he does. Set to go, Jacoby Ellsbury, the leadoff man for the Red Sox, will start it. And he is a fine leadoff hitter. Showed that last night. He takes a strike.
3 hits in last night's ball game for Jacoby Ellsbury. Now that's 15 hits over his last 6 games to jump that average up over 300 to 316.
374 the on-base percentage. And that's one of the things you really want to center on when you're talking about leadoff men, top of the order guys. Pitches foul third base side as Brandon Morrow gets right in front of 0-2 in this fastball at 95. A little better stuff than we've seen in recent outings from Brandon.
They're going to need to do that to slow down this team. There's the 8-game streak that Ellsbury has put up. 2 of the better hitting teams the month of June battling in this weekend series. Red Sox and Blue Jays began the month of June highest scoring teams in the majors.
Morrow tries to pick at the inside edge with the heat. With those 3 hits last night, Ellsbury has raised his season's average against the Blue Jays to .321. He's 9 for 28. A couple of home runs and a double mixed in. Another fastball. Brandon Morrow coming right after the strike zone.
Time to establish that fastball. That is a good sign, I think. When you've got a fastball like Morrow does, it's a good thing to establish it early.
Talk about these teams offensively in the month of June. Jacoby Ellsbury, a key for the Red Sox. He's hitting .447 in the month of June, 17 for 38. Swings and misses on the slider, so the first bender picks up the first strikeout.
And that's what happens when you establish fastball. You throw 3 or 4 of them hard like that. You put fastball in the mind, and you can go to this, the slider that gets underneath the bat of Ellsbury to pick up his first strikeout. Good sequence there by Brandon Morrow.
With 1 down, it brings up Dustin Pedroia. He's a gutty player right here, hitting .255. He's had some injuries, most recently his right knee, and that fastball deemed to be just a bit high.
Gutty isn't the word, I think. This guy is so tough. Pedroia. On Thursday, he had a cutting-edge medical procedure done on his knee. He was the first athlete to undergo a procedure called the Vision Scope technology, where they insert a scope inside the knee with a tiny camera on it to look around and see if he needs surgery. It's the first time an athlete, professional athlete, was able to use that. It was a procedure that was put together by the team doctor of the Boston Red Sox, Dr. Tom Gill, where the little camera goes inside the knee, looks around and says, okay, what exactly is wrong in there? You don't have to do an MRI. You don't have to shoot the dye in it. You don't have to have arthroscopic surgery where it's invasive, where you miss 4 or 6 weeks. The camera said that he's got a bone bruise and he had a little cartilage behind his knee. Said it's not going to hurt it anymore. He can get out there and play.
Fastball fouled back, evens the count at 2-2. Heat now at 95 and 96 from Morrow. Even with the injuries, Dustin Pedroia against the Blue Jays this year hitting .286. Has a home run mixed in. And the month of June, nothing new with these Red Sox. He's a .370 hitter. Oh, that's close from Brandon.
That was a good shot right there of a fastball that he tried to bring back over the outside corner.
Pedroia was 3 for 4 in last night's opener. The pitch is grounded foul. Brandon Morrow against the 2-3-4 hitters this afternoon for the Red Sox has had very limited success, I think you might say.
Well, I have to pull it up against these two guys. Pedroia, 3 guys. Pedroia, Gonzalez, and David Ortiz combined hitting almost 600 against Morrow.
With the 4 for 8 against Morrow, Pedroia also has a couple of doubles and a home run. So he likes to swing it hard, and sometimes when you get that hard thrower, it brings out even the better big swing. Pedroia not only tearing up the month of June in general, over the past 7 days hitting .444. There's that big swing we talk about.
Yeah, he doesn't get cheated when he is up there. What's impressive about the numbers that you were just talking about over the month of June, he has had the leg problems. And you know, as a hitter, if you don't have that good strong base inside of you, you're not going to be able to hit. There's the all-out effort from Pedroia.
If you came upon Dustin Pedroia on the street, you might be inclined to pat him on the head, but boy, he plays like a very big man as he takes ball 4.
What an at bat for Pedroia. The scouting report for Brandon Morrow this afternoon is brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. I think he's got to bring the heat today. Establish that fastball early like he did against Ellsbury. He throws very hard, 95, 96, but he's got to bring it. Consistent strikes are so important with Brandon Morrow, and he's had his trouble with the Boston Red Sox. In 20 2/3 innings pitched, he's given up 21 hits, 18 walks in those 20 2/3 innings against the Red Sox. So he's going to have to pitch a little bit better to get the win this afternoon.
Well, you talk about guys that are tearing it up. Adrian Gonzalez, RBIs in 7 straight games now as we speak. Why is Morrow concerned at first base with Pedroia? He's stolen 13 bags in 15 tries. Adam Lynn getting a start today at first base. Ball is crushed on a line, but to the seats down the right field side. Try to sneak that fastball in on the hands of this guy, and it may not work. And yet, most people think of Adrian Gonzalez as being great on pitches out over the plate, driving it the other way.
You know, that's what makes him such a great hitter. You see the numbers, 338, the power, 12 home runs, the production, 57 RBIs. Not a lot of holes in his swing. You throw him inside and he'll yank it down the line. There are his good numbers over his last 20 games. And you pitch him away and he's got that ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. I think his swing is perfect for Fenway Park.
Again, he drives it to left field, but if you try to come in, as Tabby just said, he'll yank you hard. Morrow quick to the plate, brings the high heat.
Doesn't strike out a lot. He really has an idea at the plate. And he's hitting on a team where there's a lot of RBI opportunities. He was saying that the other day after he had a big game, that it's the players around him that are helping him.
I think those players may say in turn it's Adrian Gonzalez that has helped them enormously this year. That's well spotted, and up to 97.
Establish that fastball, bring that heat. to these Red Sox hitters.
RBIs around the major leagues. Adrian Gonzalez leads with his 57. In the American League, Paul Konerko second at 51. So you see the gap there. Prince Fielder leads the National League at 55. Slider drilled to right, but Bautista right there. Yeah, a big second out, but that ball was crushed.
That's when you say in the dugout, well, we had him played perfectly. Because Bautista didn't have to move. Watch how pretty this swing is. It's short, it's compact, and it's got a lot of power to it.
From the Red Sox dugout through the years, what you might hear coming out is, you got him popping up.
They have so much firepower with the Red Sox and so much balance up and down that lineup.
I find that some of the jargon, the things that get said by players, doesn't change a whole lot through the years.
The baseball lingo.
Grab some pine. David Ortiz takes the fastball, this high fastball called a strike. David Ortiz, a rare 0 for last night. 0 for 4, did draw a walk. But you see the last 21 games hitting .390. This ball drilled and fair over the bag and down the line. Pedroia around second. Bautista will bring it back in, holding with a single as Ortiz, as Pedroia gets into first base.
And I think there's going to be an argument as John Farrell has come sprinting out of that dugout thinking that that ball's foul. He had a great view of it from where he sits in that third base dugout, looking right down the first base line. He is going to have some words with the crew chief. That's Jeff Kellogg.
That's a real judgment call. Does any portion of that ball go over the bag? You be the judge. Boy, that's close. The bounce before the bag said to me it was not likely to get any bag.
You know, I was watching Adam Lynn. He was holding the runner on, and when he came off the bag, he didn't come off very far and dove for the ball. But the umpire said, again, it's not where it lands once it gets by the bag. It's where the ball goes over the bag. And in Jeff Kellogg's mind, he felt like it went over the corner of the bag.
See if we can get that last shot we had of the ball going over the bag and down the line, and where the ball lands on that first bounce after the bag. And it appeared to me to be a good maybe 18 inches foul. Let's see this ball as it lands after the bag. Where does it land? Look at this. 12 to 18 inches foul, and that's a lot of ground to make up if that ball was to be over the bag.
It's a tough call for an umpire. He's got to get out of the way. You see him trying to get out of the way. He's got to stand close to the bag because there could be a pickoff. And then a tough left-handed batter rips one down there. He's trying to get out of the way. This is what Adam Lynn looks out after. He said, hey, how did that ball get by me and still stay fair?
You know, that's exactly what he's thinking as he's staring at that, because like you said, he didn't come far off the bag. So runners at first and third now for Jed Lowry, playing at third base this afternoon. Switch hitter, batting left-handed. Lowry hitting .283 overall, right about the league average in terms of on-base percentage at .330. Brandon Morrow, no surprise about it, comes right after him with that first pitch fastball. Sometimes when a pitcher decides that he's going to establish the fastball a bit more, and we've seen it with Ricky Romero this year, the velocity tends to go upward, and that's what we're seeing here with Brandon Morrow.
Build up a little bit more arm strength. You get a good feel. You start to extend, get the ball out in front, and you throw more fastballs.
What a nice block here on the slider in the dirt by Jose Molina, who does get to both knees, doesn't try to use the glove to catch the ball. Jed Lowry, 27 years of age. Don't hear of a lot of players from Oregon. He's from Salem, Oregon. Slider is hung but popped up. Broken bat Looper behind second. Escobar there to make the play, and that'll do it for the Red Sox in a first inning that had a disputed base hit by David Ortiz. They leave a pair for the Blue Jays. It'll be Escobar, Patterson, and Bautista. John Farrell probably said, did that ball have any chance of being over the bag? And Adam Lynn probably saying, I don't see how.
Again, he had the best view, I think. He wasn't moving. John Farrell right down the first base line.
Yunel Escobar back in there for the Blue Jays, takes the first pitch low. Well, very good to see Yunel back in, and watch him closely and make sure no further re-injuring of that leg. John Lackey just misses away on what looked like a pretty good pitch. Escobar backs away and takes inside, so 3-0.
Good sign to get Escobar back in there. He's swinging a hot bat, and he's starting to show some pop. 3 doubles and 3 home runs for Escobar. With a good start here.
That Blue Jays lineup on the afternoon starts with Escobar. He'll be followed by Corey Patterson, Jose Bautista in that familiar 3 spot. Adam Lynn getting the start at first base, and he's been great with the bat when he does so. Edwin Encarnacion is the DH. Jose Molina does the catching. Rajay Davis in center, Jason Nix at third, and Mike McCoy gets the start this afternoon at second base in place of Aaron Hill. Patterson takes inside, so 5 straight balls now delivered by John Lackey.
We were talking in the opening about John Lackey's last 5 starts against the Blue Jays. They haven't been pretty. The numbers, for some reason, Blue Jays seem very comfortable against him. Right now, they are waiting him out.
John Lackey, as we've talked about, picked up a win in his most recent start, and that start coming after spending nearly a month on the DL. He had strained ligaments in the right elbow.
Yeah, he's looking to build off of that strong outing. First start since coming off the DL. That was a 63 win over Oakland his last time out.
Lackey with his first strike on the afternoon. These Red Sox come in after not much sleep night before. They pick up the win, making it 7 straight wins. And keep in mind, they have just come off sweeping the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees. That sweep of the Yankees, a second straight sweep at Yankee Stadium this year. Patterson hits it off the end of the bat.
I think what's impressive, what the Red Sox have done, is winning 7 in a row, but their 4th different streak of 5 wins a row or more in a row.
That's impressive. The last time the Red Sox won 8 in a row, by the way, and made it an 11-game run in the process, was back in 09, April of 09. So a couple of years back. Patterson again offers.
And this is a team that started 2-10 this season. And it was just, I think, a matter of time before Terry Francona's team started hitting on all cylinders. And that's where they are right now.
That's a skipper that has the horses right there. There is no question when you look on paper. That is a good looking team. Slider down and in. Tabby, you were talking about the last 4 starts for Lackey against the Blue Jays, and the numbers are not pretty. 0-3 with a .951 ERA. So the Blue Jays have had their way with this veteran righty.
You know, one of the things that they have done is they've really waited him out. That last start back in May at Fenway Park.
This pitch fouled left side.
It was a 4-1 game in the 7th inning. Lackey was losing that. The Jays ended up scoring 5 runs in the 7th inning to knock him out and give him 9 earned runs in 6 2/3 innings. But he had 5 walks that day. 4 of them came around to score. So they really waited him out and made sure that he threw strikes.
Certainly wouldn't anticipate that Escobar would be running. He has stolen a couple of this year. Pop foul back to the seats. It stays at 2-2. By the way, Brandon Morrow needed 24 pitches to get through that top of the 1st inning. And it's really surprising when you see a guy with such good stuff throwing strikes right away. But these Red Sox take pitches. They foul pitches off. And before you know it, you get to about the 5th inning and you're just about to the end of your allotment.
Yeah, that's why you get into those bullpens and beat up on the bullpen. This afternoon we have the 6th highest and the 7th highest pitchers in terms of pitches per inning. And John Lackey and Brandon Morrow. So you're going to see a lot of work out of these starters. Lackey averaging 17.8 pitches per inning, which is the highest of his career.
Wrap yourself around plenty of goodies and settle in. Pitch is hammered but fouled on the right side. Well foul, and hits off that facing of the 3rd deck. Corey Patterson is not a big guy, and if you shake his hand, you find out that he kind of feels small, and maybe even the word fragile comes to mind. But put a bat in his hand and he's awfully quick.
Bat speed, that's where it comes from. He's hit 5 home runs this year to go along with 28 RBI.
Hot looking. Varitek gets set up inside and the pitch toward the outside, and yet they get the call.
I think that's where John Lackey needs to live this afternoon. Fastball. Good job by Varitek to frame it for home plate umpire Mark Carlson. You see from that overhead view that he catches the plate. And I think it's high enough also. Good pitch there from Lackey.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good pitch. But oftentimes you don't get that call when the catcher has to move. Jose Bautista, who's been taking a lot of first pitch strikes, opens it wide open with that first swing.
Right now he's just a little bit too long in his swing. Timing.
Really amazing. He's hitting .343 and he's been struggling.
You know, you can't say a guy's struggling when he's hitting 243, or excuse me, 343.
Look at this swing on a fastball right through the heart of the plate. That's a pitch that Bautista will not miss at all. And I mean, he'll center it up when he's on his game. Lackey, who's been bringing kind of a sinking fastball, cuts one away. Over the last 7 days, Bautista hitting just .217, 5 for 23. Those are not Jose Bautista numbers. Pops it up shallow into right field. J.D. Drew comes on and makes the play. That's out number 2. Over the last 60 plate appearances, there's that power drought for Jose Bautista.
These are plate appearances between home runs. It's now up to 60, more than at any point last year when he hit his 54 home runs. May 28th was the last time that he went deep, but Pitchers are really pitching him a little bit differently and tougher, staying away from him. And he knows it.
Adam Lynn stands in and takes a pretty hittable pitch right there for strike one. Yeah, those numbers, despite the fact that Bautista has gone 12 straight games now without a home run, longest stretch this year, but he went 13 straight in June last year. June was the month that saw him hit just 4 homers. So he had 50 home runs the other 5 months of the season. Wow.
All right, let's see. 50 divided by 5.
Can you do that one?
No, I think it's 10.
You know what? We've got a calculator in the back here.
Pretty impressive. 10 is a season for me.
Oh, that last pitch. And I won't even bother talking about me. That last pitch looks like it's right on the inside edge, and yet the ball called. Look at the positioning of the home plate umpire as he tries to find his way in between the hands of the hitter and the catcher. Slider fouled back, and my days behind the plate, I would say without a doubt the toughest pitch to get called was the inside corner. Outside corner could grow, and I mean grow to 12 inches off the plate at times.
To a left-hander or right-hander or both?
Both. As that catcher sets it in, the home plate umpire gets pinched off, can't see, and almost flinches a lot of times on that pitch on the inside edge.
Probably more so against the left-hander because they set up on the same corner, on the same shoulder of the catcher. Can't even see him.
Of course, when a right-hand hitter's at the plate, that home plate umpire sets up off the inside edge, and so it's really kind of the same scenario. But that home plate umpires say all the time, give me some space. And you say, you know what, I've got a job to do as well. Yeah, that's the position. I'm not sure that I think that that's the best way for umpires to work it. Got him swinging. So John Lackey, after walking Yunel Escobar to start the inning, comes back and strikes out Patterson, and Lynn gets Bautista to pop out. We have a scoreless inning in the books. It up for the second inning. We look back at Kansas City when he put up very good numbers, no earned runs over 6 innings. But I'm not sure that the stuff was quite up to par with what we're seeing, at least in the first today.
Well, it wasn't the dominant stuff that we have seen from Brandon Morrow, the 10 strikeout type of stuff. He only had 5 strikeouts against Kansas City, a team that doesn't strike out a lot. And that was his lowest strikeout total in a game this season. And you're not going to take that A game every single time you go to the mound with you. So you have to improvise and figure out a way, and he certainly pitched well enough to win that game. His 2 hits given up in 6 innings.
Starts things to Carl Crawford, missing down and away. I wonder how concerned John Farrell is that it's been kind of back and forth for Brandon this year in terms of good game and not so good.
I think the hallmark of a good pitcher or a good player, a good hitter, is consistency. And you have to flatline it. You can't have too many highs and too many lows.
Well, that fastball just thrown right over the back.
His start against Cleveland, I thought his stuff was really good. He gave up some 2-strike hits and some 2-out hits, some bloopers and things like that. And when we put it all together, the numbers weren't very good. He also had a start against the White Sox and Houston where his, in the first inning you go, hey, we might see something special here this afternoon. But it just wasn't to be. He ended up giving up 6 runs or 4 runs.
Picks up his second strikeout on the afternoon. A foul tip hung on to by Jose Molina.
Yeah, but I agree with you that so far that we have seen this afternoon, he's got the good fastball.
Yeah, this is the Brandon Morrow that we watched for a long stretch last year. Once he found that strike zone, started to dominate hitters. But I'm with you as well in that Cleveland game. I thought, boy, he's got good stuff, and yet those Cleveland left-hand hitters looked awfully good.
He would make an 0-2 mistake and they would hit it. Sizemore came to mind, and Brantley got a couple of hits just like that. They didn't hit the ball that hard against them. A couple of bloopers to right field.
Former Blue Jay Marco Scutaro at the plate. Here's a guy that likes to work counts. Hasn't gotten a lot of playing time of late. He sees the count at 2-0.
Just off the disabled list, Marco Scutaro had one of those oblique strains.
Did a terrific job as a member of the Blue Jays. Swings on the 2-0. It's a bit unusual, and he has the big rip, maybe trying to put the Red Sox on top.
I remember when the Blue Jays obtained Scutaro, and the reputation was, well, he's a utility type of infielder. He can play different positions, and he'll give you good at bats. But with the injuries that the Blue Jays had at the time, Marco kept playing more and more and got better and better. Ended up playing every day at shortstop and then signing that free agent contract with the Red Sox. And I thought he was a very, very impressive player when he was here.
Now 35 years of age. And like you say, over with the Red Sox last year, had a nice season. But when you get those young players coming along, like Jed Lowry, you know that the tendency is to move the vet out of the way a bit.
Terry Francona handled it the right way, too. We were in Boston when he made the change, and he actually called Marco Scutaro the night before and said, look, I'm thinking about making a change and putting Jed Lowry in. I just can't keep his bat out of the lineup. And Marco understood and ended up spending some time on the disabled list, but very valuable player to have on your team.
This line shot hits Morrow. But he gets us out. A nice play on the other end by Adam Lynn to reach in and grab that throw. Brandon Morrow showing the right hamstring area as the area that the line drive hits him on. You always get plenty of loving from your teammates. Jose Molina may be laughing a bit.
Well, you hope that it's from the waist down when you're talking about a pitcher. The bigger muscles are in the backside and in the legs. And that's where it looks like it caught Morrow. You don't want anything up around the head or the arm, the elbow, the pitching arm. This will really tell where this ball hits him.
Look where the glove is of Brandon Morrow. That's not a good fielding position. In fact, a very dangerous fielding position when they get that glove locked around the body. And Brandon's had some line drives come his way.
If you've never thrown batting practice to a big league batter, it's scary. There's no way I'd do it without a screen, obviously.
Yeah.
But you are so close, and that ball comes back so quickly. You have to be in good fielding position. As Morrow tells George Poulos and John Farrell that he's okay. I mean, it is frightening some of the times when that ball comes back at you.
Yeah. I actually managed minor league baseball for a few years and took one in the face.
Ooh.
Got caught peeking toward home plate. Broke all the bones in my face, and yeah, it'll tear you to pieces. 8-hitter J.D. Drew stands in. Fastball deemed off the inside edge. Well, how frustrating is it when you're Marco Scutaro hitting a line shot like that and it hits the body of the pitcher?
You are owed one later at some point.
You feel like you need 2 or 3 bleeders now to make up for it.
Everybody says to you, hey, wait, stay right there.
Yeah.
You hit the ball well. Big deal. You're also sitting on the bench.
Fly ball to left field. Should be easy for Patterson. He'll put it away. And the Red Sox go down 1-2-3 in the second inning. So Brandon Morrow throwing very well as we go to the bottom of the second. Edwin Encarnacion leads it off.
Starter John Lackey of the Boston Red Sox, dependable starters. He's had 8 years in the big leagues. 6 times he has made 33 or more starts in a season. His fastball has movement. It's not as fast as it was when he was younger, but he's got good movement on it. And he's got a hybrid cutter. It's a combination of a slider and a cutter. And that was the pitch he felt his last time out was improving. And he pitched against Oakland and beat the A's.
Edwin Encarnacion leads it off here in the Blue Jays half of the second inning. John Lackey picked up a couple of strikeouts in the first. And there goes the bat of Encarnacion. And this is world-class distance.
That might be the best I've ever seen.
That's pretty good. That's about, I would guess, 110 feet in the air. We don't have the present world record in front of us. But yeah, that's a good one. We're going to have to mark that.
The distance and the accuracy kept it on the field.
Got to keep it in the fairway or it doesn't count.
That's right.
0-2 the count on Edwin. This pitch is drilled on a line to left. That'll drop in front of Crawford, who does a nice job cutting it off. Edwin Encarnacion, first hit of the afternoon for the Blue Jays. Guys have fun with each other. Ricky Romero having some fun with Marco Scutaro. They know each other, and of course Ricky's getting on Marco, who hit that line drive.
Oh, you were saying Brandon Morrow's back there crying because he got hit?
Yeah, that'll play well in the clubhouse.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you never know where those cameras are going to light. Jose Molina fouls it off. That is not a lot of sympathy had around major league players. They love to have fun at each other's expense.
Oh, whenever anything bad happens to another player, you get hit like that or you foul a ball off your foot, the player's going to be right there to just get on you.
Guys will be barking from the dugout. Even your own teammates just having a good old time. Brandon Morrow has come back. I'll tell you what, he'll have a little gift card presented to him with that one. Bruise is going to be a good one by tomorrow. Tight slider. 2-1 the count. Thinking about the bat toss there of Edwin Encarnacion and how players like the next day to come out with the paint can and
Right.
spray paint the X on the mark so that everybody knows where it landed. There goes Edwin. The pitch is fouled at the plate. So the Blue Jays play a little hit and run here.
Not a bad idea. You got a good player at the plate in Molina who can handle the bat. Just start that infield, that runner, get the infield moving around. The best one that I ever saw was when an outfielder went up against the wall, ran into a wall to try and catch it, and they had the outline mark of the outfielder taped up on the wall the next day.
Like the crime scene.
Yeah. Hilarious.
He played with a pitcher, won't name him, a left-handed pitcher back in the 70s. And as Lackey comes set. Well spotted fastball, but no call. There's that inside edge, and even the catcher, the veteran Veritek, turns to the home plate umpire. Signs flashed out by Brian Butterfield, but anyway, this left-handed pitcher was trying to get himself to get on top of curveballs and get that hand roll right over the top, the 12-6er. And he 12-6'd one into about 32 feet from the rubber to home plate. Lackey fires to first base because he wants to hear the rest of the story. And the next day, of course, everybody was laughing on both sides. And the next day, guys were out with the paint cans, X marking the spot out there about halfway toward home plate. And, you know, you just get some great ones. Runner goes again. The pitch hit in the air and deep toward left center field. Going back is Crawford at the wall. He leaps and makes a fine play. Encarnacion was all the way at second base and has to retreat. Carl Crawford is not only a terrific offensive player, but with his speed, he makes it work extremely well in left field.
Gold glove left fielder last year for the Tampa Bay Rays. He covers a lot of ground. Jose Molina gets it up in the air, and he knows with Crawford out there, he doesn't think he has it all. But Crawford goes right back to the 375 sign and leaps and makes the catch in left field.
Always tougher when you're in the opposing ballpark and you're trying to learn your way around. So one out. It brings up Rajai Davis.
He's got to save that bolt for when the Blue Jays go to Fenway Park.
That's a green monster shot.
Yeah, that's long gone.
You are still high-fiving everybody in the dugout at this point. Rajai Davis hitting .253, 0 for his last 22 now. And when you're 0 for 22, you get the called strike on the inside edge. Only 3 strikeouts, but he has not been hitting the ball sharply in that span. Lackey freezes the runner. Pitch fouled back as Davis has a good swing.
When a guy is not swinging like they can, if the count gets into their favor, that's a good time to put the hit and run on. It really makes that batter concentrate on the ball just a little bit more. I mean, they're not going to do it now, obviously, with 2 strikes. But you get ahead 2-0, 2-1, put that hit and run on, open up some holes on that infield, make that batter concentrate on that ball just a little bit more.
Pitch is tap foul, third base side. Rajai Davis had a 4-hit performance earlier in the season, that against the Red Sox and John Lackey's start. With those 4 hits, 6 for 13 on the season against the Red Sox. And against John Lackey, terrific numbers over his career. That catches the plate. So caught looking is Rajai Davis. 3 strikeouts now for John Lackey.
Second one that is taken. We got Corey Patterson looking, and this time right on the inner half.
Well, that gets the plate, and there was a subtle move there by Jason Veritek, almost pulling toward the outside corner to enable a little bit of an area to see for the home plate umpire. Whether he was thinking that or not, tough to say, but sometimes subtleties by veteran catchers, you can pick them up. 2 down for Jason Nix. Lackey just holds on, and now timeout called at the plate. For Jason Nix, it hasn't been a huge numbers here, hitting 198. The 4 home runs, on occasions, with a good quick swing, he will drive it.
He's played good defense for the Blue Jays this year over at third base. He's made some outstanding plays.
A valuable acquisition coming out of spring training. Hits one high and deep toward left center field. Ellsbury with plenty of speed to get back there. He'll make the catch with 1 foot on the track. And that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the 2nd inning. They leave Edwin Encarnacion after the leadoff single. We're scoreless after 2. Who will be discovered on this season's America's Got Talent? New episodes every Tuesday and Wednesday on City TV. Yeah, get yourself plenty of refreshments. It's a scoreless game, and a couple of pitchers, right-handers going at it. Brandon Morrow and John Lackey. Both at 38 pitches as we speak through 2 innings. So Brandon Morrow tidied it up in the 2nd inning, 24 in the 1st. And I can figure that out at 14 in the 2nd inning.
Both pitchers. Lackey at 24 in the 1st inning also.
Identical figures.
Yep.
For the Red Sox, the 9-hitter will start it. That's Jason Varitek. And when we turn to the bottom of the inning, it will be the 9-hitter for the Blue Jays. So very even game to this point. And Brandon Morrow really got under this fastball. That right hand kind of drops off to the side. The elbow drops. Varitek, a switch hitter, pops the pitch in the air, shallow into right center field. 3 players converge. It's Jose Bautista taking over to make the catch.
Save during the Beauty Tone Paint Sale only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Nice crowd on hand at the Rogers Center. Filling in, maybe even as we speak, here in the 3rd inning. Leadoff man Jacoby Ellsbury will stand in. Strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. Morrow has picked up a pair. John Lackey 3 through his 2 innings. There's that slider just under the knees. I always wonder, at the front of the plate, does that pitch catch the bottom of the knees? That breaking ball breaking downward.
It's not where they catch it.
Right.
It's where the ball goes over the plate.
When you've got that breaking ball, curveball in particular, breaking downward, yes, you'll see the catcher catch it below the knees, but where was it at the front of the plate?
Right. That's why we're up here and they're down there.
Fastball taking some off in the dirt. 3-0 on a guy you don't want to walk. Last night, Tim Timmons, I thought, did a really nice job with some strikes that hitters questioned, but when we had a look at the strike box, they were proved to be strikes, other than one to Jose Bautista.
Just one from pitch tracks showed that he just missed 1 pitch all night.
Ellsbury content to take a strike. This is your prototypical leadoff man, a guy that gets on base, steals bags, breaks his bat, and singles into right field, just out of the reach of Adam Lind.
Scores runs. Again, he's leading the American League also in stolen bases, and he's got some pop now.
Yes, he
this
does.
year. 7 home runs and 32 driven in for Ellsbury. So you've got the power and you've got the speed at that leadoff position, and they have him back in center field,
where he's probably at his best.
Yeah. Last year they moved him over to left field. Mike Cameron played center field, and he just didn't look natural over there.
Ellsbury has been piling up the hits of late. So speed at first for Dustin Pedroia. Lind holds at the bag. And again, we're in that part of the order for the Red Sox. The 2, 3, 4 hitters, 12 for 20 against Brandon Morrow. Coming up, not an easy place to have to pitch. Ellsbury with 24 stolen bases leads off. Big Poppy waiting his turn. Pitch is up and in. Morrow quick to the plate. It looked like Ellsbury was thinking about running, but when that pitcher's quick to the plate, most good base runners will shut it down. Ellsbury has been caught trying to steal 8 times this year. Morrow keenly aware of the situation. Ellsbury with that base hit now has hit in 9 straight as Pedroia takes a strike.
16 hits over 7 games. Also, we were talking yesterday when we started this series how hot the bats are for the Boston Red Sox. David Ortiz in particular leads the major leagues in extra base hits with 27 since the start of May.
Ellsbury driven back to the bag.
They also have a couple of players. Ortiz third in the AL in hits with 51 since the start of May. The first 2 guys, Adrian Gonzalez and Jacoby Ellsbury. So they've got plenty of firepower up and down that lineup. And now Brandon Morrow's got to navigate right through him here this inning.
Swing and a miss off speed has Pedroia through. In that stretch that you're talking about, going specifically 6 games back for Ellsbury, he's had a 4-hit game, 2 3-hit games, and a pair of 2-hit games mixed in there. So yeah, he's swinging it red hot.
Add some power. 7 home runs out of the leadoff spot. Stirring it up for the Red Sox.
Boy, is that pitch right there? It is frustrating when you're on the hill. You saw Jose Molina turn quickly and say something to the home plate umpire, Mark Carlson. Yeah, it looked like maybe Molina pulled that one back up for me as I glanced up. But pitchers try to work it to the bottom of the knees. There's a slider grounded up the middle, and that's out of the reach of Escobar. Ellsbury won't stop at second. He'll make it to third. Runners at the corners with 1 out for Adrian Gonzalez, and that is not an easy task now for Brandon Morrow.
In the past, the Boston Red Sox had a lot of power, but they didn't have that element, that one element that really made them a super offense, and that was speed.
Look at this ground ball right over the rubber. And if you're a pitcher that fields your position, you likely have a double play. When you're a pitcher that doesn't field your position, you've got runners at first and third. It's just night and day. Would you like to have 4 infielders or 5?
Ellsbury makes it easily in the third base. You talk about speed. You mentioned Pedroia with his stolen bases, and Ellsbury and Crawford. They can manufacture runs now, where in the past it was just swing and home runs, the big innings.
Foul tip at the plate on a hanging breaking ball from Morrow. Yeah, the Red Sox offense is extremely well balanced. Even you get down to the bottom, J.D. Drew hitting in that 8 spot. You got Jason Varitek today in the 9 spot. He's had his struggles, but it is a tough lineup. Kevin Youkilis gets a day off. That's rare to get Adrian Gonzalez swinging at bad pitches, especially with men in scoring position.
Yeah, a little anxious right now with that runner at third base and less than 2 out.
We mentioned earlier 7 consecutive games that Gonzalez has driven in a run in.
The longest of his career. He's driven in 11 runs over his last 7 games.
See if Morrow can get him. Broken bat liner down the right side. This will drop fair down into the corner. 1 run scores. Pedroia being held at third base with that arm of Bautista getting it back in. It's a 1-0 Boston lead, and runners now at second and third on the RBI double by Adrian Gonzalez.
And make that 8 straight games now with an RBI for Adrian Gonzalez. Double number 21 is a thing of beauty. It looked like Brandon Morrow was pumping fastballs, and he tried to go inside. Look how quickly he pulls his hands in and gets the barrel of the bat on the ball and keeps it fair.
Look at these RBIs since the middle of May. My goodness, just tearing it up.
Tied for 23rd for the month of April, which is okay. Yeah. But then since then, we had 31 in May and now 12 already in the month of June.
There's the major league leader in RBIs. He's given the Red Sox a 1-0 lead. David Ortiz at the plate, and the Blue Jays don't want anything to do with this bat, so they'll put him on intentionally, loading up the bases and setting up the possibility for the double play with Jed Lowry coming to the plate. Big Papi finds this amusing.
Tore it up last week when he was named the American League Player of the Week for the 5th time in his career. 4 doubles, a couple of homers, 6 RBIs, 5 runs scored in those 6 games last week. He is starting to swing it, so they're going to take this bat right out of his hand.
By the way, 21 doubles now for Adrian Gonzalez. That sets him up for a pretty good pace for about 50 on the year. It's a guy with 12 home runs, 58 ribbies, as we've talked about, hitting well over 300, pushing 340.
Where do you pitch him? If he can hit the ball, handle the ball inside the way he does, and we talked last time how he can hit the ball to left field.
I'm not sure presently there is a spot. Blue Jays play for the double play, and the first pitch is strike on Lowry. That hanging slider again, but again the swing and a miss. A lot of times that hanging breaking ball can be one of the toughest pitches to hit. You kind of tie yourself up as a hitter, wait a little bit too long, and then don't get a good swing. Slider down and in, and that gets a piece of the back leg of Jed Lowry, and with an 0-2 pitch, Brandon Morrow hits Lowry, and another run comes across. That in the person of Dustin Pedroia. It's 2-0 Boston.
Held on to that pitch just a fraction of a second too long, trying to get a little something extra on that ball, going for the strikeout against Lowry.
There was a shot of John Farrell there, and you know that as a former pitcher, he knows what this is all about. You've got a tough hitter at the plate trying to come up with a big pitch. This one hits him right on the left knee, and as you do so, you don't want it in the heart of the strike zone. You want it just out of there, and you wind up hitting the hitter on a pitch that's very close.
Just a little bit too much. You want to pull down and get that strikeout. Pulls it a little bit too far, and Lowry will pick up an RBI the hard way.
And this is what the Red Sox do. They just keep applying the pressure. Now Carl Crawford at the plate. Bases still loaded, 2 runs in. And when you're trying to get the double play, you're going to have to shallow up even more with Carl Crawford, and that's what the Blue Jays do around second base with Escobar and McCoy. Pitch hit in the air to left field. That's going to push Patterson back. With that, the run will tag and score from third base. The throw from Patterson just comes back on a couple of hops to third base. And the Red Sox keep doing what they do. Sac fly for Carl Crawford makes it 3-0 Boston. High fives all around, Tabby.
Good piece of hitting, good teamwork. First sacrifice fly of the season for Carl Crawford. As he picks up that run from third.
An inning that started with a fly ball to right field for an out. But then Jacoby Ellsbury, Dustin Pedroia, Adrian Gonzalez all with hits. Runners now at first and second for Marco Scutaro. It was Scutaro that hit the line drive back to the box. Hit the hamstring area of Brandon Morrow. Brandon eventually picked it up and threw him out. But a tough way to get an out. Good slider for a strike. Wonder how Carl Crawford feels about still batting in the 6th spot now. Here's a looper that's going to find center field for a base hit. David Ortiz around third, and he will make it to the plate as Rajai Davis had a tough time getting a hold of this ball, and then when he threw it, he throws well over the head of the cutoff man Adam Lind, and that enables Marco Scutaro to alertly take second base. And it just goes on, and we've seen numerous throws now from Rajai Davis this year that have been over the heads of cutoff men.
He certainly had a chance to get Ortiz at the plate. The ball wasn't hit that hard by Scutaro, and he charges the ball. Don't know about the transfer as he picks the ball up.
Does that look like an outfielder who has in his mind right away, I'm going to get the out at the plate? Looked like there was an extra stutter step, and it really didn't seem to involve the baseball in the transfer to the right hand. It looked like lack of concentration, maybe thinking that Ortiz wasn't going to come.
Or he had no shot. Don't know about the transfer from glove to the throwing hand. But when he caught the ball, Ortiz was just stepping on third base. He certainly had a shot at the plate on.
4 runs in now, 4-0 Red Sox. J.D. Drew, the 9th hitter of the inning, stands in and pops one up back of second base. It is Mike McCoy with the call, and he'll put it away. So the Red Sox in the 3rd inning put 4 runs on the board as they sent 9 to the plate and strand a pair. 4-0 Boston. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Comfort zone is Logan Couture of the San Jose Sharks. It's time. It's that time of year to have a nice comfy cozy seat and enjoy things. He's a buddy of Ricky Romero's, but then who isn't? Ricky and J.P. Arancibia They get around and have a lot of friends.
Very popular players here in Toronto.
Red Sox lead it 4-0. 9-hitter Mike McCoy leads things off for the Jays and takes a strike.
We were thinking that it might be an offensive afternoon because of these teams, both of them very hot. Most games scoring 9+ runs this season. The Toronto Blue Jays have the most. They have done it 10 times.
McCoy tries to bunt. That pitch appeared to be a strike in my book. I mean, even if McCoy doesn't go through. Here's the 2-1. There's a strike. Mike McCoy just looks like he's having a tough time picking it up, trying to pull the trigger somehow. Semi pulls the trigger and goes through on a slider down and away. 4th strikeout for John Lackey.
He's got good movement on his pitches. This looks like the hybrid cutter, if you will. The cross between the slider and the cutter that will pick up that 4th strikeout. It's got some good depth to it. It's the pitch that he was talking about after his last start, that he felt like he saw the most improvement in that pitch.
I always loved talking to pitchers, and one pitcher would have a pitch that he called a slider as the pitch is inside on Escobar, and yet it would break about 2 to 3 inches. And another pitcher would have a pitch that he called a cutter, and it would break 12 to 14 inches. It's all about terminology. There's a changeup that dips low. Escobar drew a walk back in the 1st. Jays could not move him. There's that good slider, cutter, whatever you want to call it. To me, that's a good slider.
Yeah, that was his slider right there, because it broke down just a little bit more. When he came up for the Los Angeles Angels, he was a power pitcher. That's only 2 strikes. Home plate umpire not into it.
We're going to have to straighten this one out.
He's not into it. It was 2-1. Let's look at the tape here. Wow.
Doesn't look like he's buying into it either. Now, what is the precedence for this play? Do you have the right to say, let's take a look at the replay?
I was looking at he was looking at his counter. And I think he clicked the wrong one. The first 2 pitches were balls. I thought they were called balls.
This is an intriguing discussion or argument, whatever you want to call it, where it never looked like Mark Carlson gave in, and yet in the end run, the ball was, or the count was straightened out the way it should be. Looked like John Farrell was fighting a losing argument, and yet he wins it. Now the 2-2 is fouled back.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
Punched out on a 2-1 pitch.
Maybe once a game you're entitled to do that.
Yeah.
Escobar feels that Lackey takes too much time. Hanging breaking ball, fouled back. Well, the Blue Jays have to feel here this afternoon that with 1 strike, it's time to expand the strike zone, huh?
I don't know. Like we were saying, that both of these teams are very good offensive teams. They have scored 9+ runs. The top 2 teams in the American League, you could say that.
Another fastball thrown right by the bat. 5 strikeouts now for Lackey. If you had to guess, Tabby, I would think the guess would be that it was the Blue Jays that had the tough travel coming into town. These Red Sox have not let off the gas pedal.
Well, they are on a roll right now. They're getting a little bit of everything. Starting pitching, relief pitching, hitting, playing good defense.
Corey Patterson tries to drag a bunt to get something started with 2 outs. Never a bad idea when Bautista waits in the on-deck circle. Oh hum, the Red Sox lead again. It's Jose Bautista trying to get that feel back. Full concentration at all times. Blue Jays have slipped to 3rd in runs scored in the American League. Ball hit in the air to center field. Right there is Ellsbury. He'll put it away. That'll do it for the Blue Jays. A 1-2-3 third inning with a couple of strikeouts for John Lackey, who has 5 on the afternoon. 4-0 Red Sox. Into all the action on Sportsnet Radio. That's the Fan 590 or anywhere across the Blue Jays radio network. Greg Zahn's always got something going on. Jerry Howard has a chance to be a member of the All-Star squad, apparently. What about Mike Wilner? 4-0 Boston. We go to the 4th inning. Jason Varitek started that 4-run 3rd inning. He'll start it again here and take a ball from Morrow. Varitek hitting just .217 on the year. 2-0 the count. He is the only catcher in the modern era ever to catch 4 no-hitters. So he certainly distinguishes himself in that regard. Also wears the C on the uniform.
That's the thing, the captain's C. That's impressive. What a leader he has been. Buchholz threw a no-hitter. Lester. I'm assuming Josh Beckett threw a no-hitter for him.
There's a strike. I don't recall. Did Beckett throw a no-no?
I would guess maybe not.
Well, you got me when you start thinking on that line. Pitches pop foul to the seats. That'll fill it.
Go to work.
Time to go to work, huh?
Gotta find it. He's just a marvel behind the plate. You see him working so hard with Gary Tuck, the bullpen coach and catching instructor. Blocking balls in the dirt.
Takes it below the knees, draws the leadoff walk. Brandon Morrow has had a tough time at home this year and done well on the road. Can you figure any reason for that?
No, and it's totally opposite of what he did last year. He had some great splits last year at home as opposed to the road. I can't figure it out.
I think that falls in line with my thinking. A lot of times, whatever the stat may be, you look at a period of time, it may work one direction. The very next year, it may be completely opposite.
You know, I guess you have to like delve into the numbers just a little bit more. Who is he facing at home as opposed to pitching on the road? He missed the first part of this season. He was on the disabled list with some elbow discomfort, so did not pitch on the road when the Blue Jays went to Texas or when they went to Boston earlier this year. So that might have had something to do with those type of splits.
Jacoby Ellsbury 1 for 2 on the afternoon. 9-game hitting streak in tow. Picked up that third inning single. Taps one foul at the plate and gets a piece of himself once again.
He's got one of those big pads right on his shin, and it actually goes over his shoe because he does that frequently. Fouls the ball straight down.
It's the pitch that'll really get you too, whether it be the slider or the fastball coming down and in.
And Morrow's got such good movement on his pitches. He can turn over his fastball. He's got some movement that goes away from a lefty, and that good slider that comes down and in.
Breaking ball hit in the air to center field. Rajai Davis now, after holding for a moment, goes back to make the play. Tagging and bluffing at first base is Varitek. That's one out, and it brings up Dustin Pedroia. Two, 3, 4 in this lineup for the Red Sox have been doing quite a lot to keep these Red Sox on this 7-game winning streak.
They have been on base 5 times already this afternoon against Brandon Morrow. The rest of the lineup just 2 for 10 with a couple of strikeouts. That's Pedroia, Gonzalez, and Ortiz. This is where he has had his trouble.
There's a slider for a strike. You have to be a confident hitter to be willing to take strikes, to try to go deep in counts before you try to take over with the bat.
And when you hit second, you have to be able to do that. When you've got some speed ahead of you, you have to be able to say, you know what, I can hit with 1 strike, or I can hit with 2 strikes. Pedroia, I don't think it matters to him.
He personifies gamer. There's that big rip on the slider and gets a chunk out of Jose Molina. Jose Molina, at times, from my perspective, gets more abused by foul tips than any catcher I've ever seen. Catches a piece of maybe some flesh above the shin guard there.
Is that just catching on the wrong day when you get hit so many times?
I think you got it nailed right there.
He catches Brandon Morrow for the most part, and Morrow's stuff is so good. There's a lot of foul tips.
Fastball lined into right center field. Bautista can't get there. It'll go to the wall. Varitek digging for third base. He's being sent home. The relay from second on a hop not in time, and the Red Sox enjoy a 5-0 lead on the RBI double by Dustin Pedroia. And if you are a member of the Boston Red Sox right about now, you are having some fun.
They are scoring about 7 runs a game during this win streak. Pedroia catches up to a 2-strike fastball and splits the gap in right center field. Enough to get Jason Varitek, who was running 39 years old, all the way around the bases to score the Red Sox 5th run.
We were talking about Varitek and his no-hitters caught. Got the other 2 names for you.
You found them?
As Adrian Gonzalez takes a strike. As soon as I say them, you're going to say, oh yeah, I remember. Back in 2001 was the first one.
Okay.
Hideo Nomo.
Oh yeah.
See, I told you. And the second one came the following year, 2002, Derek Lowe. Another strike at the knees.
Now I know you have caught some no-hitters.
Caught 3 along the way.
3 of them.
Yeah. So he broke out of that pack there. I don't know what the total number of catchers, 8 or 9, that had 3. But it's all Jason Varitek. Pedroia dancing around at second base, gets the attention of Brandon Morrow. And then, of course, John Lester and Clay Buchholz, and there's your 4. 6 hits for the Red Sox to produce the 5 runs. Big swing and a miss. We've seen this act before from Gonzalez on the afternoon. Then he turns around and drives in runs. Not so this time. 3rd strikeout for Brandon Morrow.
Was not going to come inside to him that time. Stayed away with the hard fastball. Sets down a pretty good hitter.
Now the man with 58 RBIs to lead the major leagues heads back to the dugout, brings up David Ortiz. 1 for 1. He's singled and walked, scored a run. Fouls one back to the upper tank. Surprising when you see a day like this where Brandon Morrow clearly has good stuff. Spin to second base, nobody there defensively, so Morrow hangs on.
To finish that thought, I think it plays to how well the Red Sox have been seeing the ball over the last 2 weeks or so. There's no question that Morrow's got good stuff this afternoon.
84 pitches now for Morrow. There's guys talking hitting in the dugout. That goes on all the time. Mike Cameron along with Kevin Youkilis. Good breaking ball on the outside edge. A ball and 2 strikes. Looked like Youkilis was talking about the importance of that lead elbow in the swing, trying to make sure it goes downward and not upward.
Stay down and through the ball.
Slider in the dirt, evens the count at 2-2. Red Sox with 4 in the 3rd, 1 more here in the 5th, make it the 4th inning. And the 5-0 lead. Brandon Morrow didn't like the call. Jose Molina held it right there. But that inside edge continues to be tough to find. Mark Carlson has not been one to budge with these pitches here in the afternoon. Does any part of that baseball catch any part of the plate from that shot over the top? Get a little bit of an angle to each corner. Got him swinging high, cheese. So back-to-back strikeouts of Gonzalez and Ortiz will do it for the Red Sox, but they pick up a run in the 4th inning. As they lead at 5-0, the Blue Jays come to bat with Jose Bautista, Adam Lind, and Edwin Encarnacion. see Jose Bautista still atop that chart, but 12 straight games without a home run as Granderson and Teixeira in particular have been gaining ground.
Some kind of hot month of May to really jump ahead of everybody like Bautista did. Paul Konerko's homered in 3 straight games. He's now up to 16.
Jose Bautista still hitting .342. There's a pitch he wouldn't have taken during one of his hot streaks. It's hard to explain when you get in a funk. You just don't see it the same way. Pitch outside. What was your best explanation of why you were struggling in any span?
You don't see the ball.
Yeah.
The ball looks about the size of a ping pong ball coming up there, or a marble. It looks so small, and you just feel out of sync. And that's what it looks like right now for Bautista. Just watch how he takes pitches. When you're going well, you're back on that back leg. You got the weight on that back leg. The hands are back and they're ready to go. Now you see guys start leaning out on that front foot, and the bat starts coming around.
Pops it up back to the plate. That'll find the seats. Yeah, for me, I agree with all of that. The hands are something I like to watch, because when the hands come forward, typically that front shoulder starts to open, the front hips pre-spin open, and those lead to a lot of problems. When you do that, the only thing you can handle is what you were looking for.
And that's if you're looking for a ball inside, or if you're looking for a fastball here or there.
Well, Jose got a pitch to hit on the 3-2 and pops it up. Pedroia with the call. And out number 1. Adam Lind has some pitchers he has destroyed through the years. John Lackey at the top of that list.
Some hard throwing right-handers in there. Lackey and Java Chamberlain up over 500. Kevin Slowey also. Derek Holland over 500. It's the damage that he has done also. Coming into this game 10 for 18, 5 doubles, 5 RBIs in his career versus Big John Lackey. We were talking before the game. Who was your John Lackey when you were playing?
I'm not sure I could put anybody in that kind of a category, but
I know who it was.
I had some limited success against some pretty good names.
Well, the one that I saw is a Hall of Famer, Raleigh Fingers. You had some pretty good numbers against him.
Jim Palmer, another one, and
just throw those Hall of Famers out there.
Both of those pitchers very embarrassed about those stats. The one I'm proud of is Fernando Valenzuela. I had next to no chance against that great splitter, or not splitter, but the screwball.
Screwball. You should have gone up there left-handed. Did you ever think about that?
It was pick your side for embarrassment for me. And you tore it up against numerous guys.
As long as they were left-handed.
There's that change in the dirt. You love the lefties. You love bases loaded, and you love the left-handers.
Didn't have a lot of success against the righties.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying in there, but two to Lind. That's line down the left side. Gorgeous hitting as he drops it fair up against the wall. Lind digs for second and beats the throw. A 1-out double for Adam Lind. For Lind, his 6th double on the year.
And his 6th double in his career versus John Lackey, and it takes a beautiful piece of hitting down and away with that fastball. But he stays right on it. He keeps it fair down the left field line. Slices it by Carl Crawford. And then hustles into second base with his 6th double of the season.
That is just so good when you see a guy that can take a pitch as tough as that, and we saw that in Kansas City as well, and still drive it for a hit. It might have been Baltimore, as he went after one down and away and lined it the other way.
You know what you have to do on those balls, Wade? You can't uppercut it. You have to stay on top of it.
Slash through it. Johnny Damon comes to mind with that slashing stroke of his and that ability to take the entire 90 degrees and utilize it.
From foul line to foul line, wherever the ball is pitched. And then if you can do that with power.
Check swing grounder back to the mound off the bat of Edwin Encarnacion. He's thrown out after the runner is checked at second. So 2 down for Jose Molina.
The Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned Home Hardware or Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
It's 5-0 Boston. Jose Molina. We're bat with 2 outs, and Adam Lind at second base. A double for Lind, his 6th.
So if you can do that with power, hit the ball the other way, or pull the ball to all fields, that's the kind of guys that make all the big money. Adrian Gonzalez comes to mind. Miguel Cabrera comes to mind.
Jose Bautista also comes to mind in stretches. Remember the most recent homestand before heading off to Baltimore and Kansas City? Bautista was taking advantage, lining balls down the right field line, and then when he got a pitch to handle, he would jack it to left field.
He would turn on it, and I think that's what pitchers are doing to him. They're staying away from him right now. They'll give you a base hit to right field. They just don't want to lose the baseball.
Hittable fastball fouled back. Molina robbed by Carl Crawford in the second inning as Crawford went up against the wall in left field. Good hitting count now for Molina. First base is open. Rajai Davis waits on deck. But with the 5-0 Boston lead, you figure that Lackey comes right after Molina. Another good-looking pitch, not called a strike. And it looked like Lackey might have said, wow. It has been a tough strike zone at times here this afternoon. That's the second walk issued by Lackey. Rajai Davis struck out looking in the second inning. That streak now has pushed to 0 for 23 for Rajai. And he drills one to left center field. Even the speed of Crawford can't get there. It goes to the wall. Lind will score. Molina coming around third base. Here comes the throw to the plate. And not in time as Veritek tries to block it off. But Molina sneaks a hand in there. A 2-run double for Rajai Davis as the Blue Jays get on the board. It's now 5-2 Red Sox.
Don't wait around. Rajai Davis aggressively picks on that first pitch and drills it to left field. Hanging breaking ball, and he rips it past Crawford in left field.
And with it, no need to talk about 0 for 23 anymore.
Lind scores easily from second, but how about the nifty slide by Molina? Gets in between the legs of Veritek to touch home plate. That's a catcher knowing what a catcher is going to try and do to him at the plate. He's going to kick that leg out there and make him go around him, and he goes right in between them to touch the plate.
Well, you can certainly see the ploy of Jason Veritek. He shows you home plate, but he shows it in between his legs, and some base runners just don't choose to come in between there. Jose Molina really had to dig to get to the plate.
That was a nifty slide. He knew exactly what Veritek was trying to do, kind of push him off the plate.
Another pitch misses. A ball and a strike on Jason Nix. He flied to center field deep in the second inning. Jays now with 3 hits. Check of Davis at second base. Couple of them. Pitch in the dirt. For Rajay Davis, now 17 RBIs. And the double, his 10th on the year. Breaking ball hit in the air to center field. Plenty of room for Ellsbury. In front of the track, he'll haul it in. That'll do it for the Blue Jays in the 4th inning. But they put their first 2 on the board with 3 hits and a walk, and they leave a man. 5-2 Red Sox. Pre-game show Monday 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. All the news you need to know before Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Blue Jays trying to get back in this one, pick up a pair in the 4th inning. It's 5-2 Red Sox. Brandon Morrow has needed 88 pitches to get through the 4 innings. He'll face Jed Lowry, Carl Crawford, and Marco Scutaro. For Jed Lowry, he's popped out and been hit by a pitch that plated a run in the 4-run 3rd inning. Bases loaded at the time. Lowry came up with RBI number 25. 2-0 the count. If this inning doesn't smooth out quickly for Brandon Morrow, he'll be up over 100 pitches easily, and it could be the end of the day. Pitch hit in the air to center field. Davis just gliding to his left. And out number 1.
Save during the Beauty Tone Paint Sale only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Nice crowd on hand, rooting for their Blue Jays, trying to snap this 7-game winning streak of the Boston Red Sox with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Carl Crawford stands in. 0 for 1 with a sac fly. Drops one into center field, little looping soft liner, so Carl Crawford gets into the act, his first hit on the afternoon.
Carl Crawford has been getting hotter as the summer starts to heat up. In April, just a 155 average. I think he was pressing the first month, really trying to justify that big contract. May was a good month for him, but June even better, now up over 224 with that base hit. Crawford starting to show the fans of the Red Sox why they spent so much money.
I think the nation is probably buying in right about now. They know it's going to get even better. Marco Scutaro at the plate, 1 for 2. Picked up an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Line one off the hamstring of Morrow in the 2nd inning. Morrow able to pick it up and throw him out. Broken bat, looper into left field. This will drop for a hit. 2nd straight for the Red Sox. Stopping at 2nd is Crawford. And that'll bring up 8-hitter J.D. Drew. So Marco Scutaro 2 for 3 on the day.
Good player. He's got a short swing, can wait long, sees lots of pitches. That time that ball was right off the end of the bat. And he muscles it into left field. And this team offensively has been hot.
Hot means you're winning a lot of ball games, and the Red Sox have done that since May 13th, the best record in all of the major leagues.
Lead the major leagues with 133 doubles, 217 extra base hits. Offensively, you can go through all the numbers, starting to show why they are so dangerous.
Brandon Morrow has good reason to keep an eye on Carl Crawford at 2nd. Marco Scutaro doesn't possess that kind of speed, but a very heady player. The outside edge is picked upon by Morrow. J.D. Drew has seen the numbers drop off of late, and in the process he is getting less and less playing time, hitting .229 as he stands in.
Playing against the right-handers. Mike Cameron getting more playing time against the left-handed starters. It's nice to have a bench of those type of veterans. This afternoon, Kevin Youkilis is on the bench. Jared Saltalamacchia, Mike Cameron. They also have a young player named Sutton.
Pitch lined into right field. A 3rd straight hit for Boston. Bautista cuts it loose to the plate offline as the run scores. But because the throw is down, Drew can't go into 2nd base. It's 6-2 Red Sox on top. Still just 1 out for Jason Varitek.
Well, he almost runs right into the throw from Jose Bautista in right field. Bautista leads the team in outfield assists with 6, and because the ball was hit so hard, you think he has a shot at getting the runner, Crawford, but he just outruns it. Here comes the throw, and it almost hits Drew as he has to back out of the way and stop at 2nd, or stop at 1st. Crawford just runs too well.
If Bautista puts this throw on the plate, I think they might have a shot. It would be close, but Bautista pulls it just a bit on that 1st base side. But I love watching him throw, along with the fact that he's got that great arm. He keeps it down cuttable. Runners don't move up extra bases.
He charges the ball so well. And I think that's where his background as an infielder comes into play, where he can come in quickly, get to the ball, and then unload it quickly.
Runners at the corners for Varitek. He's flied out and walked, scored a run after walking in the 4th inning. And the Blue Jays bullpen start to get things loose with Jason Frazier. Nine hits now for Boston. Fastball just simply gets away. Blue Jays with just 3 hits on the afternoon. That off-speed breaking ball had Varitek waving. Veteran switch hitter hitting .217. Still a good catcher. Morrow again has that mindset on the base runners. It's Drew at 1st, Scutaro at 3rd base. Game just limping along here into the 5th inning. That's 100 pitches now for Morrow. And one way or the other, you would figure this inning will be it for Brandon. Started in a tough way with that 24-pitch first inning. This pitch grounded foul outside the bag at first.
You were talking about Varitek, a good catcher. 4 times in his career has he led the American League in catcher ERA. Now, I know a lot of that has to do with the great pitchers that he has caught, but he is so smart. He's got total recall. He knows how to set up hitters. Pretty good feat right there, leading the American League in catchers earned run average. He's done it 4 times.
Pitch fouled third base side. I view him as the ultimate grinder behind the plate. There was a mindset when I played, I'll just put it that way, that pitchers should challenge hitters. Go after him with the fastball. Don't walk guys. But I think there are times where walks are better than the big hit. And I watch Jason Varitek call games, and I see where he enables that factor. He does not want his pitchers giving up big swings in key situations.
Maybe a base open.
And that base doesn't have to be first base.
Right. Doesn't have to be first base. It could be second base. I think if he wants to stay around the game, and I suspect he will, he's going to make a great manager.
He hammers one to deep right center field, back at the wall. This one sails out. A 3-run bomb for Varitek. And the Red Sox go on top 9-2 here in the 5th inning, and Brandon Morrow cannot believe it. For Jason Varitek, just his 3rd home run of the year, and the 3 RBIs give him 12. Now, the way these guys are playing, this is a tough team to beat. And how about that pitch?
How do you get on top of a high fastball like that and then drive it out of the ballpark? Pretty impressive, as Brandon Morrow's afternoon is done. 4 1/3 innings. Jason Frazier comes jogging in as the Red Sox have now taken a 9-2 lead.
Plan today, and a short outing that may be surprising when you consider the good stuff that he had.
Struck out Ellsbury, the first batter of the game, gave up a hit and a walk in the first inning, had a 1-2-3 inning in the second, and then that was it. Red Sox bats come alive. Brandon Morrow's afternoon is over, and taking over in the 5th inning here, Jason Frazier. His numbers have been good this year. 210 earned run average. This will be his 28th game. Got a very good walk to strikeout ratio, nearly 3-1.
Jason Frazier, 33 years of age, the veteran of the bullpen, and his first offering is promptly drilled into center field. June has not been kind to the Blue Jays pitching, whether you're talking about starters or relievers.
Earned run average in June for the starters is over 5. Pitching staff have been pitching some good baseball, but you can see in June both the starters and the relievers have had their share. The Blue Jays relief pitching still second in the American League at 332, but the starters have dropped to 13th.
Frazier comes with the first pitch breaking ball for the called strike on Dustin Pedroia. He's 2 for 2 on the day, single and a double, driving in a run. Ellsbury at first base is now 2 for 4 on his day. 11 hits for Boston. This series against the Blue Jays, Dustin Pedroia now 5 for 6. Scored a couple of runs, driving in a pair. I guess you'd say that's getting it done.
And there was talk, remember, when they were in New York, that he might miss this series because of a knee problem.
Fastball gets on the hands, hit to third. Nix will get it out at second base on a very close play. That's all they'll get. That speed of Ellsbury going from first to second can be awfully tough to gauge.
Even though it's 9-2, still playing hard here in the 5th inning. All out to second base, and he gets thrown out just ahead of that throw.
So Frazier finds a way to finally get Dustin Pedroia, and now it brings up Adrian Gonzalez. Where do you take a breather in this lineup?
That's why they're so good. There is none. Even down at the bottom of the lineup, they've got veterans who know how to handle themselves. They have hit in all kind of situations.
Adrian Gonzalez just continues to get great swings. Doesn't matter where you pitch him. It's like somewhat Jose Bautista in his typical game over the last couple of seasons now.
They're clicking offensively. We saw them back in April, and it just wasn't the team that we knew that they could be.
It's 9-2. Dustin Pedroia not likely to be running, and yet Frazier throwing over. Oh, 1 in the dirt, and Molina keeps it in front. Yeah, when you're talking about the Blue Jays starters prior to today, they come in with an ERA at 4.41 on the season. That is ahead of only Kansas City. Royals behind by a wide margin, but for the Blue Jays starting staff, it has been a rough go of late. Tabby talked about the bullpen, and that's been really a strength pitching wise all season long for the Blue Jays, and yet even that pen has had their lumps taken here recently. New York Yankees with the best bullpen ERA in the American League. Blue Jays right behind him. The Oakland A's have slipped a bit. Splitter, a swing and a miss, and Molina has it slip on by, so jogging into second base is Dustin Pedroia as Molina jogs to go get it on that first base on deck circle. They've called it a wild pitch. Oh, it's a pass ball, yes, and it should be. It's not really the way you would generally go after that one. So Pedroia now in scoring position. Not much to be happy about in that Blue Jays dugout. Boston Red Sox, we've talked about their offense tearing it up over the last 8 games.
They've won 7 in a row, plus this one. They're averaging now almost 8 runs a game during this win streak.
Gonzalez may be offering on ball 4. But the Red Sox having some fun with the sticks. Terry Francona's face may not know it, but he's having a good time.
Into this series, the 2 top scoring teams when it comes to 9+ runs a game. The Blue Jays had done it 10 times. With the 9 put up this afternoon by the Red Sox, they have now tied the Jays for most times this year. Scored 9+ runs.
There's a guy not even playing today, and he's having a grand old time. Mike Cameron, I'm a member of the Red Sox. Some guys can't even figure out how their own team doing what they're doing. It has slowed to a crawl here in this 5th inning. Pitch line to the seats again.
This guy, Adrian Gonzalez, how do you play with 4 organizations already? He was originally the first player picked overall by the Florida Marlins. He ended up playing behind Mark Teixeira at Texas. San Diego stole him in a trade from the Rangers, and then the Red Sox went out and spent a lot of good young players to go out and get Adrian Gonzalez. But that's a thing where I guess he's finally found a home here in Boston.
He was a big part of what the Padres did in a surprising season last year that disintegrated down the stretch. And Adrian Gonzalez proves it is about the ring. Of course, money has come along with the possibilities, but San Diego was his home area now, and so he said sayonara to the home area. I'm going to go to Boston and join that big lineup of the Red Sox.
They gave up some good young prospects too to go out and trade for.
Jason Frazier steps off the rubber again. Ortiz now gets back into the box. And the splitter in the dirt. Four Boston runs in here in this 5th inning. We are 2 hours in and just trying to get through this top of the 5th.
9 times this year the Red Sox have scored 4 runs in an inning.
This time the splitter gets away high. Chopper foul. It's just amazing with the Red Sox playing the way they are. When they don't center the baseball up, they tend to foul it off.
You can make good pitches against good hitters, and they can keep at bats alive. Yankees do a good job of that. Tampa Bay does a good job of that. Certainly the Red Sox.
Fastball just under the knees. Jamie Campbell's been mentioning the Yankees and Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter for that matter, and some of the milestones they are approaching. Alex Rodriguez starting to slam the home run ball once again.
What number was that today? 629, did they say?
swing and a miss.
Pitch.
I heard it, and
I missed it.
that may be the figure.
I saw it. Went over the 399 sign in left field.
So 3-2 on Big Papi. Ninth hitter of this fifth inning. And the fastball hammered deep to right field at the wall. This one is gone. A second three-run home run here in the inning for the Red Sox. And they're on top 12-2 over the Blue Jays.
Home run number 16 for David Ortiz. RBIs 37, 38, and 39. As the Red Sox bat around, and they've put up a 7 spot here this afternoon. Third time this year that they have done that.
Well, you would think at some point some of the Red Sox starters who have been playing a lot might get a little time off.
What were you saying about them getting in here late the other day? That you would think the second day they would look tired, but not so.
Yeah, that may be part of their travel plans for the future. Save it till the last moment. Splitter again missing low. A ball and a strike. Four in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 7 now in the fifth inning as the Red Sox have mounted this 12-2 lead. This ball is driven to left center field. Rajai Davis takes a bad route now. Outruns it as he makes the play in left center field. Davis started in and then had to retrace backward to make the play as 10 batters come to the plate for the Red Sox. You see Davis go get it. It's 12-2 Boston in the fifth. Seven-run top of the fifth inning for the Red Sox gives them the 12-2 lead. And now for the farm report down in New Hampshire. That's the AA squad for the Jays.
Keep an eye on Henderson Alvarez. He started the year in Bonita and started repeating that this year, but then zoomed up to AA. And you can see his numbers. He's not a big guy. Doesn't really throw the ball hard, 95, 96, but he's got great command and a good idea out on that mound. So hopefully we'll see him in a few years. Very young, and he's made his way to AA.
You get to AA and you start playing against a lot of the very good prospects around baseball. Mike McCoy leading off the fifth inning. Sees the count at 2-0.
You know, that's the key if you're a minor league player.
Ground ball inside the bag at third. That's a base hit for McCoy. With his speed, he'll make it into second base. Leadoff double against John Lackey. Well, you would figure that John Lackey would start coming right after the hitters, so take advantage, and McCoy swings it aggressively.
Yeah, you see a lot of fastballs from it. He's not going to want to walk anybody. He's going to be pitching very aggressively. He's got some runs to work with. McCoy knows that and gets his third double of the season.
Got to bring up the top of the order with Yunel Escobar. Walked in the first, struck out in the third inning. John Lackey with 5 strikeouts. Escobar offers and fouls it off the first base side. The double by McCoy, hit number 4 for the Blue Jays. Red Sox with 12 hits to mount their 12-run attack. Grounded left side, backhanded at short. Nicely done by Scudero. Throw a bit high, but handled easily by Gonzalez for out number 1.
Very sure-handed is Marco Scudero. He doesn't possess the arm like a Yunel Escobar does, but he's good positioning. Gets good jumps on the ball, and he's very sure-handed. If he can get to it, he'll make the play.
2 and 3 years ago, Marco Scudero was among the very best in the American League with those sure hands at shortstop for the Blue Jays. 1 out for Corey Patterson, 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Lackey continues to try to pursue that inside edge. Clearly up out of the strike zone, but Patterson goes after it. A ball and a strike. Out on the fists, it's fouled third base side. Jose Bautista waits on deck, and you wonder what's going through his mind. Yeah, he continues to pick up hits here and there, but it's not Jose Bautista like, and you know he's not satisfied with the way things are going, especially for the ball club. It is not fun when you feel like at times in this Blue Jay club came into the series second best scoring team in the American League, just behind these Red Sox. You feel like you're making strides forward, and suddenly the Red Sox just lay it on you. Pitches pop back to the seats. But again, keep in mind that the Red Sox just swept the Yankees for a second time in New York this year. It's a hot ball club.
Yeah, what do? You get out here and you compete and you see what happens. It's a good team. Everybody knows it.
It's a team that obviously has great confidence in their players. Pitch fouled at the plate, in and out of the glove of Veritek. Patterson hitting .290 on his season. John Lackey had 90 pitches. Got him swinging. Just pumps the heat on the outside edge for the strikeout, number 6 for Lackey, and that's 2 down here in the innings.
Still has some juice in that fastball at the time at 93 miles an hour. As he picks up his 6th strikeout, that ties his season high set against the Angels the last time he won a game back on April the 24th.
So Jose Bautista now tries to come up with a big swing of his own. He's 0 for 2 on the day. There's that huge swing as he fouls it back, but he's been under this afternoon, flying out to right field and popping out to second. So I'm on the road trip, a number of pitches he was rolling over, hitting ground balls on the left side. So somewhere in between. We mentioned Curtis Granderson hitting his 20th home run of the year, tied with Bautista for the leadership in the major leagues. Don't know if Jose knows that news at this point, but he's a guy with great pride and get the sense that he believes he is the best. Jason Varitek wants to make sure that they don't make a silly mistake on Bautista.
Well, they have stayed away from him the first 2 games in this series. Buchholz with fastballs away. He cut his fastball away last night. John Lackey has done the same thing here this afternoon. They have stayed out of the middle of the plate.
I think the Red Sox are doing the right thing defensively in the infield. They do not have the shift on Bautista as he fouls it off. Bautista took advantage of the shift a number of times a week or so ago, as that second baseman would move onto the third base side of the bag at second. Jose would just say, okay, if you're going to do that, I'll line it into right field. But when you take that away, then he kind of has the one swing approach. Just getting a piece to stay alive.
Just watch Jason Varitek just keep moving a little bit further outside, a little bit more, a little bit more. Just trying to keep that ball away from him.
And again fouled off. Jose didn't look like he was in the big home run mode right there, maybe trying to hit something back up the middle. When Bautista was on that previous homestand, I watched him take a lot of batting practice, and he was hitting ball after ball to right field. Good slider, got him swinging. Pitch gets by the catcher, Varitek. Bautista sprints on down to first, but not in that chance to get there and beat it out. And so that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the 5th inning. Leadoff double by McCoy. He's stranded. It's 12-2 Red Sox. Blue Jays and Red Sox close out this 3-game series. Another 107 start. Call 416-341-1234 to pick up your tickets. You can do it online and print them out yourself. Don't stand in lines. BlueJays.com, the way to do that, or you can do it also at most Rogers Plus locations. Octavio Dotel comes on to pitch for the Jays. He's the 3rd pitcher of the afternoon for Toronto. And he'll face Carl Crawford, Marco Scutaro, and J.D. Drew.
Dotel now in his 12th big league season for the Blue Jays. In 20 games, there are his numbers: 13 hits and 16 in the 3rd inning. Dotel, the right-hander, has been very good against right-handed batters. He was signed by the Blue Jays on January 4th of this year. Signed to a 1-year contract, now 37 years old.
Still throws hard, not quite like he once did. These Red Sox have sent 9 to the plate in a 4-run third inning, and then 10 to the plate in a 7-run fifth. As the first pitch from Dotel is up and away. They picked up a singleton, just a mere 1 run in the 4th inning. All in all, 12 runs to the Blue Jays 2 on the afternoon. Crawford gets jammed as he fouls it back. Crawford 1 for 2. He's had a sacrifice fly driving in a run in the 3rd inning, and then singled and scored in the 5th. Batting average just under the 250 mark. He fouls it back. He's at 249. Red Sox captured the 2 highly sought after free agents in the offseason, Carl Crawford and Adrian Gonzalez. Here's a fly ball hit pretty well out to left center field. Rajai Davis will eventually take it as he and left fielder Corey Patterson almost collide, and the communication maybe not as good as the Jays would like.
Save during the Beauty Tone Paint Sale only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
When you see a play like this, Tabby, imagine you'd like to see that center fielder just take over all the way and have the left fielder get out.
Yeah, he called him off. That ball kept drifting away from him off the left-handed bat of Crawford. That ball slicing away from the center fielder. And he's got command out there. Center fielder calls you off, you got to peel out of the way.
Marco Scutaro stands in, fouls the slider. You have the sense that Rajai may be drifting a bit and therefore leaving a question mark in the mind of Corey Patterson?
I think that ball was just hit like right in between the outfielders, and the communication wasn't there at the beginning, but we saw on that replay right at the end that he called him off, took command of that ball, and reached up and made the play.
Here's another hit for Marco Scutaro, his 3rd on the afternoon, and remember it was the first at bat for Scutaro in the 2nd inning that he lined one off the hamstring of starter Brandon Morrow and eventually was thrown out. So 3 for 4 for Scutaro.
Yeah, he easily could be 4 for 4 with that line drive his first time up. He's a good player.
He is a good player and a well-liked player.
Can play third base for you. Started at second base.
With the 12-2 Red Sox lead, Adam Lind plays behind Scutaro at first base. J.D. Drew stands in. Grounds one foul outside the bag. Drew on the afternoon 1 for 3, had an RBI single and scored in the 5th inning. And the pitch hits Drew, who didn't even move an ounce. Drew gingerly on down to first base. That's a funny non-reaction.
Yeah.
To just stand there. You're leading 12-2 and just take it.
I mean, you have to expect it's going to hurt if you don't even try and get out of the way. Time he takes it right off the shoe.
Second hit batter charged to Blue Jays pitching. The other, Jed Lowry, back in the 3rd inning. That was Brandon Morrow's. So Dotel will work a strike to the 9-hitter Jason Varitek, who came up with a huge 3-run home run in the 5th inning. That made it 9-2 Boston at the time. David Ortiz would add another 3-run shot in the 5th inning. Big swing and a miss.
Varitek has one hit in his career against Octavio Dotel, and it was a home run.
Slider grounded up the middle. That'll find a hole. That'll score a run as Scudero comes to the plate. Stopping at second is J.D. Drew, and it's now 13-2. Red Sox lead it. So Jason Varitek didn't have a whole lot going on coming into today's game, but he's added 4 RBIs. Now 13 on his season.
Looked like a breaking ball from Dotel, and got the ball on the ground, but it goes right back through the middle. Get that to an infielder and you're out of the inning.
That's the thing about this game. When you're not hot, lava hot like the Red Sox are, that ground ball turns into a double play. When you're red hot, it finds a hole.
Finds the hole. And it's happened a lot for the Red Sox over the last 10 days or so.
Good breaking ball. Jacoby Ellsbury. 2 more hits this afternoon. He's 2 for 4. He's scored a run. Plays a stellar center field for these Red Sox. Ellsbury hitting .319. He's that lead the league base thief at the top of the order. Of course, the Red Sox also with Carl Crawford, so they've got great speed in different parts of the order. The power that we've obviously seen here today, the table setters at the top. Pitch lofted into shallow left field. Patterson coming on to make the play. 2 down here in the 6th.
When the Blue Jays faced the Red Sox back in Fenway Park, Jacoby Ellsbury was hitting 8th in the lineup. Remember that 3-run home run he hit?
Right down the right field line.
Yep. And since then, they have moved it into a leadoff spot, and he's been the igniter.
Dustin Pedroia, another guy having a big day. 2 for 3 on the day. He's driven in a run. He's drawn a walk, scored a pair, takes a strike at the knees. The only member of this Red Sox lineup without a hit today is third baseman Jed Lowry. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt. It's 0-2 now on Pedroia. Jed Lowry, you got to be a team guy. You got to stay there and root for the guys and have a good time. But oh boy, it's frustrating.
The only guy who didn't have any fun last inning.
Invite me to the party, will you?
He made 2 of the 3 outs last inning.
Twice flying to center field. Slowly hit to second base. McCoy will come on and make the play to first base, and that'll do it for the Red Sox in the 6th inning. That sees them add another run on a couple of hits as they leave a pair. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Adam Lind will lead it off for the Blue Jays. tomorrow had a rough time here this afternoon. And we've talked about the fact that it's been kind of up and down for Brandon.
Consistency is what you're looking for when you play this game. And so far this year for Brandon, it's been up and down. When he's been good, he's been very good. 7 innings, 1 earned run. Romero, 6 innings, no earned runs. That was his start against Kansas City. But sprinkled in between there are the bad outings. So somewhere in between there is what you'll be shooting for. And that's the job of John Farrell and Bruce Walton and Pat Hankin.
Set to go here in the Blue Jays half of the 6th inning. First pitch through for a strike on Adam Lind. It'll be Lind, Encarnacion, and Molina. Lind 1 for 2, lined a double down the left field side. Number 6 on the year for Adam. Falls behind 0-2 quickly. And that double came in the 4th inning. Lind scored one of the 2 Blue Jays runs on the afternoon. Jose Molina picking up the other as Rajay Davis doubled in the pair. Here's a line shot to center field. Second hit on the afternoon for Adam Lind. And once again, as Adam Lind plays at first base, he swings a hot bat.
0-2 pitch right there for him. The way he has been swinging the bat since he came off the DL, that had to look huge.
We mentioned the fact that Adam Lind has torn up John Lackey through his career, and he continues to do so. 2 for 3 here this afternoon. Edwin Encarnacion stands in. He's 1 for 2. Had the first Jays hit of the game. That came in the 2nd. Good breaking ball from Lackey. Just 1 home run on the year for Edwin. Very surprising, hitting .265.
Just 10 RBIs for Encarnacion. When you look at the doubles that he has hit this year, 15 doubles, you would figure that there'd be somebody on base for him to get that RBI total up a little bit higher.
Has a good swing as he fouls it first base side. Edwin Encarnacion over his career playing with the Reds and now the Blue Jays. 101 career home runs. He's had 2 different seasons hitting 20 plus. Last year with the Blue Jays, 21 bombs. He crushes one down in the corner left side. Watch it, and it's gone. A 2-run line shot home run for Edwin Encarnacion. And the Blue Jays peck away. It's now 13-4 Boston.
Yeah, that one got out of here quickly. Edwin is so strong, and he will catch this one and line it down the left field line. Watch how fast that ball gets out and bangs off the wall. No doubt about it, over the 328 side. Number 2 on the season.
Brings up Jose Molina. He hits one in the air, shallow into left center field. Carl Crawford with the play. Out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Well, apparently all we have to talk about is the home run abilities of Edwin Encarnacion, and he responds.
And we will do that from now on, if that's what it takes. As Encarnacion gives his bat a little bit of a kiss. Did he homer off of Romero's bat again? The last time he took Ricky Romero's bat up there and homered.
Was Edwin giving that bat a kiss or just smelling to get that sweet burnt smell off the bat? Let's see.
That says Ricky Romero to me. Pitchers were out here today taking some batting practice this morning, getting ready for interleague play next week.
If you're Ricky Romero and you're looking forward to the chance to get some swings in interleague play, you might be inclined to say, give me that bat back. I might need that thing soon.
Don't take all the hits out of it, right? So a couple of big flies from Edwin Encarnacion using Ricky Romero's wood.
Now, do those show up in the stats of Ricky Romero offensively?
I don't think so.
That's a shame.
I know he's not going to let that bat out of his sight now.
There's a strike taken at the knees. 39,437 on hand here at the Rogers Center. And they would love to see their Jays get back in this thing. Start swinging the bats the way this team has shown that they're capable of over the course of the year. Got him swinging on a slider nowhere close. See, there's the attitude right there. If that bat is really that good, I want a piece of this thing.
Well, you know, Escobar is going to use it, huh? There's some magic in that bat. The last game, that Encarnacion homer, he used a Romero bat and then broke it on a base hit. His next time up.
So the players get their bats usually with an autographed signature on it, sometimes with the name printed out. What if some of the guys might just order some Ricky Romero bats from here on out?
If it works like that, for sure.
Pitch is popped to short. Under it is Scudero. He'll make the catch. That'll do it for the Blue Jays as Nix pops out. But they pick up a pair of runs here in the 6th inning on that 2-run home run by Edwin Encarnacion. As we go to the 7th, Red Sox now on top, 13-4. June 15th between 12 and 1 p.m. That's at the Jays Shop at Sears, Young and Dundas location. BlueJays.com will provide you all the information you might need.
Mark Zepchinski trots out of the bullpen and becomes the Blue Jays' 5th pitcher of the afternoon. Zepchinski, the left-hander, is 3rd in the American League in appearances now with 30. He also has 7 holds. The last time we saw him, just 2/3 of an inning, a hit, 2 earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout at Kansas City 3 days ago. So the left-hander comes in to face a pinch hitter for Adrian Gonzalez.
Now the Red Sox turn to their bench. They'll go to Drew Sutton, the young infielder. Zepchinski works it from the stretch. And Sutton hacking right away, fouls it off. Adrian Gonzalez on the afternoon went 1 for 3, driving in another run. So 8 straight games with RBIs for the major league leader. It's just outside.
Looks like Terry Francona is going to start using his bench now in the 7th inning. Mike Cameron has grabbed a bat, and he will hit for David Ortiz.
Drilled into left field, so Sutton says He'll take advantage of that invitation to the party right away. Yunel Escobar tries to pick an out at first base, doesn't quite get it. And now the Red Sox do go to the bench, as Mike Cameron will be the pinch hitter for David Ortiz. It was Mike Cameron staring into that camera lens in the first base dugout earlier in the ball game. Pitch in the dirt. Not going to see the Red Sox try to be too aggressive here on the base paths as they lead at 13-4. Yeah, the face has caught on to the fact that the Red Sox are having a good time. Pitch fouled off. Managers have to be stoic. Can't let on to the other side that you're having a good time.
You know he's not right now. Blue Jays swept the Red Sox the last time they came to Rogers Center in that 2-game series.
Strike makes it 1-2 now on pinch hitter Mike Cameron. Here's a line shot, gloved by Escobar. He'll make the play. Had thoughts of firing back to first base, but Drew Sutton for a second time here in the inning alertly back to the bag.
Even their outs now are getting hit hard as Cameron lines one just to the left of Escobar, and he snatches it out of the air for the first out.
Yeah, if you're a pinch hitter coming in here in the 7th inning, you hang out a line drive like that after seeing what your teammates have done, you got to figure something has gone amiss. Jed Lowry fouls one down the first base side. The American League East, best division in Major League Baseball, certainly the toughest. The Red Sox have the lead, and boy, have they played great baseball.
They certainly have. They have overtaken the Yankees now. 2-game lead over the Yankees. Best record in the American League.
There's a strike at the knees. If you were playing betting man at this stage of things, what do you think of the Red Sox chances?
Well, from what we have seen so far over the weekend, they've got everything. Not a lot of weaknesses. But, you know, it's a long year. There's still 3.5 months to go in the season, and there's so many things that could happen. But right now, the way they are playing, I think they've got an excellent chance. I think the Texas Rangers have an excellent chance in the American League. I think the Yankees are always going to be there because they've got plenty of money to go out and do what they need to do to put a competitive team out there. I think the White Sox are going to make a move at some point. I think their pitching staff is too good, and same thing with the Tigers. How about the surprise team, Seattle Mariners?
They've played well.
Just 2.5 games out of first place in the AL West.
They kind of got things started, taking 2 of 3 from the Blue Jays back about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Ball and a strike on Carl Crawford. The American League West with those Seattle Mariners is an intriguing division, but I'm like you, Tabby. I think the Rangers, at least on paper, look like the team to beat.
They've got good pitching.
Swing and a miss by Crawford as the ball again gets by Molina. As the runner moves up to second, that's Drew Sutton.
Rangers have a good bullpen, I think, with Feliz, and they can really hit.
This one has been ruled a wild pitch. Jose Molina did not do anything to try to get down to his knees and block it. It's gotten a little shaky here. That breaking ball, when you call it as a catcher, there's no way you can be standing up as Jose was. Got him. Good slider. Couple of strikeouts in the inning for Zepchinski. So Drew Sutton had the only hit of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Red Sox lead it big. Mike McCoy to lead it off. Right-hander John Lackey is done with his work. He came into play today with an ERA at 7.60, among the worst of qualifiers in the American League, and he'll improve a bit with these numbers. 6 innings and 4 earnings.
And he is in line for his 4th win of the season. 8 strikeouts, which is a season high. 4 off of his career high in strikeouts in a game. So the Red Sox go to the bullpen and they pull out another veteran, Dan Wheeler.
33 years of age. Wheeler has had his struggles as well this year. ERA at 7.41 in 17 games, allowing 23 hits in 17 innings, 4 home runs among those hits. So it has not gone the way that Dan Wheeler has grown accustomed to, at least in Tampa Bay. Mike McCoy leads it off, 1 for 2 on the day, had a double in the 5th inning. It's been all Red Sox. 4 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 7 in the 5th inning, and 1 more for good measure in the 6th. As McCoy pops one on the right side. Foul territory. First baseman coming to make the play. Sutton reaches back behind to make that play. So Sutton comes on as a pinch hitter, gets himself a base hit, and then has a tough play in foul territory.
Looking right into the sun. Sutton, rookie, is not familiar with this ballpark, but ends up making the play.
So McCoy 1 for 3 on his afternoon. Top of the order now with Yunel Escobar. Blue Jays waited around with their lineup card this morning, trying to figure out if Escobar was going to be able to play. Just outside that corner has been fairly tight this afternoon. Escobar has drawn a walk, struck out and grounded out. There's a strike of the knees on the inside edge. Mentioned Wheeler being a veteran. He has been around. He misses that outside edge again.
He spent some time on the disabled list also this year. A couple of weeks in May with the left calf strain. Since he has come off the DL, he has gotten into 6 games and he's only been scored on 1 time in those 6 games. Part of that bullpen that imploded for the Tampa Bay Rays this winter. Boy, they had a great pen last year, and they're all on different teams now.
And yet Joe Madden found a way, the skipper of the Rays, to keep that team playing well. They got off to a tough start, but then turned it around very quickly. Escobar fouls one first base side. That'll fill it. Dan Wheeler is the son-in-law of the Tampa Bay Rays television broadcaster, long-timer Dwayne Statz. Talk about a tough position, probably for both guys in those years that Dan Wheeler pitched for the Rays.
Well, he had success, and the team had success, so it's not that tough, right?
If you're Dwayne Statz, I don't know. Hit in the air to right field. J.D. Drew drifting toward the line a bit. He'll make the catch. That's 2 down here in the 7th inning.
I guess if your ERA was about 8 or 9, that would make it tough on your father-in-law to say anything good about you. But Wheeler had some good years there.
Corey Patterson 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of strikeouts. Now Wheeler was a big part of that bullpen and had ERAs typically in the 3s. So he pitched well. But can you imagine being at the mic and having to describe something that doesn't go well with your son-in-law? You're too young to imagine that.
Well, yeah.
That yes to the last part of that statement.
Tell it like it is, right?
Yeah. Quickly get a call from your daughter. Tapper foul. Yeah, no PR department needed there to intervene. It's just straight from your daughter.
Well, I guess if you're going to have them over after the game, you better be nice to them, right? Wheeler spent 4 years in Tampa, and the highest ERA he had there was .335.
Grounded foul first base side. 1-2 now on Corey Patterson. 13-4 Red Sox lead it. With the 0 for 3 afternoon, Corey Patterson has the batting average now at .289. You can see with the numbers, Patterson is not Wheeler is not overpowering with his fastball.
Move it around, use your breaking ball a little bit, throwing a changeup. Patterson's faced him 6 times in his career. Has just 1 hit.
This ball is popped foul territory down the right field line. J.D. Drew has a bit of room and makes the play. A 1-2-3 7th inning turned in by Dan Wheeler. It has been all Red Sox this afternoon as we go to the 8th inning. 13-4 Boston. Game brought to you by the all-new Equus Hyundai, redefining luxury.
The Red Sox put up 7 runs in the 5th inning. 6 of them on 2 swings of the bat. This one by Jason Varitek, his 3rd home run, a 3-run home run. And then later in the inning, David Ortiz, number 16, another 3-run home run. All told, 7 runs on 6 hits that inning for the Red Sox to blow this one open.
Blue Jays turn to their bullpen once again. They'll bring on Casey Janssen, fifth pitcher on the afternoon for Toronto.
There are Casey Janssen's number as he works in his 27th game. He comes in throwing strikes. Just 6 base on balls this year in 26 innings, an ERA just north of 2. He'll use a fastball, a slider, mix in a little bit of a changeup and curveball, but mostly it's here it is, come and get it.
Jansen faces the bottom 3 in the order for the Sox. Scudero, Drew, and Varitek here in this 8th inning. Marco Scudero, though, 3 for 4 on the day. You're talking on the recent road trip about how Casey Janssen drives with that back leg. Ground ball gets by Jansen. Escobar has no play. And a 4th hit on the afternoon likely here for Marco.
He has had 4 hits in his career 7 times coming into this game. This one, it's like a changeup that hit back to Jansen. He misplays it. And the ball up the middle, looked like it rolled up the arm of Escobar, and it'll be an infield single.
4 hits for Scudero. How a day can change. Broken bat liner, that's into right field for J.D. Drew, his 2nd hit of the afternoon. Scudero will wind up at third base. And the Red Sox just keep on pummeling.
The bottom of the lineup that has really done a lot of damage here this afternoon. You mentioned Drew with 2 hits. He's been on base 3 times. Scudero with 4 hits. And Jason Varitek's had a big afternoon.
Jason Varitek will stand in. 2 for 3 on his day. Slammed his 3rd home run of the year, a 3-run shot in the 7-run 5th inning. Had an RBI single in the 6th inning. And a swing and a miss here. Talking about Scudero and how things can change, we reflect back to the 2nd inning when Marco hit one right on the money, lining it off the hamstring area of the leg of Brandon Morrow, and Morrow threw him out. Since then, 4 straight hits. All of them singles for Scudero.
And he had never had a 5-hit game in his career. Came that close this afternoon in doing that. I mentioned the big day that Varitek has had. He's knocked in 4 runs. His career high RBIs in one game. He did it back 10 years ago against Kansas City. 7. Drove in 7 runs one game.
I'd be surprised if Marco Scudero doesn't somehow find a way to be at least a semi-regular for these Red Sox. He is just too good a player. Little cutter misses in, 3-1. Of course, that said, they've got the young Jed Lowry, and he swings the bat well from both sides of the plate. So as a manager, if you're in Terry Francona's shoes, you may just simply have to say, look, Marco's a terrific player, but he makes up part of a terrific bench for our ball club.
And when you want to give a player like a Kevin Youkilis, who is not in the lineup this afternoon, a day off, isn't it nice to have a guy like Marco Scudero that can fit in there? And he's going to play because he can play third, he can play shortstop, he can play second base. If you want to DH him, you can do that also. But you've got a guy that you can bring in and you know he's going to produce for you.
What I think is really difficult to find is that guy who can swing the bat and play shortstop to be part of your bench. So 3 straight hitters reach here in the 8th inning off of Casey Janssen. That'll load him up on the walk to Varitek. And now back to the top with Jacoby Ellsbury. Big crowd at the Rogers Center, 39,000 plus on hand. And it has not gone Blue Jays fans' way here this afternoon, and yet great day to take in a ball game. And one more coming tomorrow afternoon, a 1:07 start. Again, these Boston Red Sox in town. Make your plans to come join us. If not, check us out right here
That'll be Kyle Drabeck versus John Lester. So another good pitching matchup.
So Casey Janssen has his hands full, bases loaded. Double play depth in the infield. Ellsbury takes a strike. Leadoff man for the Red Sox, 2 for 5 on the day. A couple of singles. He scored a run. The Yankees winners today as they hosted the Indians 4-0 the final. Bartolo Colon and that repaired arm of his, now 5-3. Alex Rodriguez hit his 13th. Mark Teixeira number 19, and Curtis Granderson now even with Jose Bautista with 20 home runs. Oh, and 2 the count. Part of the baseball terminology, not maybe the best one to bring up, but when hitters take a close pitch and watch it well, players will say he spit on it. And right after that pitch, you could see Jacoby Ellsbury just kind of spit toward home plate.
Spit on the breaking ball, turn on the fastball, right?
Here's the breaking ball fouled off. When you can handle them all, you are seeing the pitch as well. It has not been a kindly day for the Blue Jays pitchers, starting with Brandon Morrow, who allows 9 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings and sees that ERA now at 5.63. High chopper to first. Lind will have just one play to first, and very close as they bang get Ellsbury. He'll pick up an RBI as they plate Marco Scutaro. The other runners move up. Drew to third and Varitek to second. 3-1 on that putout. And now a 14-4 Red Sox lead.
Ellsbury picked up an infield single in last night's game on a ball right off the top of the plate. And that time it looked like the same thing. Pounded right off the plate and almost beats it out.
Runners now at second and third. Again, the infield plays back. Jansen with a good curveball for a called strike. Dustin Pedroia at the plate. 2 for 4 on the day. A walk mixed in. He's had a double. He's scored a pair. He's driven in one. I guess you could say standard day for this Red Sox order today. Line shot. That'll be in for extra bases down the right field side. That'll plate 2 to make it 16-4 Red Sox, as Dustin Pedroia has his second 2-bagger, number 11 on the year.
And a couple more RBIs for Pedroia. Most runs in a game. Well, you're looking at it right now. The Red Sox scored 15 against the White Sox on May the 20th. They also banged out 20 hits against Cleveland on May the 25th. They now have 16, which is a season high for this team.
What'd you think of that? Watching Pedroia take a breaking ball down and away, look to be under the knees, and just slice through it, lining it down the right field line.
Not easy to do. 11 doubles, second one today.
Jansen outside. No, we were talking about the difficult day for the Blue Jays pitching. Brandon Morrow again, 9 earnings over 4 1/3 inning. Jason Frazier came on and pitched 2/3 of an inning and got charged with 3 earned runs. He allowed a home run, as did Morrow. And Cutter misses inside. Dotel pitches 1 inning and allows 1 run. Zepchinski had the only success on the afternoon, a shutout inning. A couple of strikeouts, and now Casey Janssen finding how tough it can be. Lining it foul is the switch hitting Drew Sutton. He came on for Adrian Gonzalez in the 7th inning and lined one into left field. How about Dustin Pedroia in this series?
Remember, before the series started, they were talking like he would miss this series here. Roger Settle with a knee problem. Had that vision scope done on Thursday before he got here. Back in Boston. And wow, 6 for 9.
And now Jose Molina and Casey Jansen need to meet up, figure out how to deal with the moment. 16-4 Boston. Is it good to get a day off ever? If you're Aaron Hill, I don't know how he feels about it, but it's got to be frustrating sitting and watching as these Red Sox just pound away. I don't know how you felt about off days. I had plenty to deal with, but I expended more energy most of the time in an off day than I did when I played. Nervous energy about if you're going to pinch hit or come in defensively, and hey, it's not all it's cracked up to be at times in terms of rest.
I don't know. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
You know, you'd sit there this early in my career. At the end of my career, I didn't play every day, so I knew what to do with myself. Just find my spot on the bench and hang out. But you're right. Am I going to get in the game? Do I need to get loose? What do I do in the first couple of innings? Also felt like you were letting your team down, that you weren't out there battling with them.
Mike Cameron at the plate. It's a 1-1 count. Cameron centered one up as he lined to shortstop as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. It is a struggle to get through these hitters. Brandon Morrow had one 1-2-3 inning that came back in the 2nd. Crawford, Scudero, and Drew went down. But other than that, it has been a battle all afternoon long. 3 more runs here in this 8th inning. For the Blue Jays, a 2-run double by Rajai Davis in the 4th inning, a 2-run home run by Edwin Encarnacion in the 6th, and that's been it. Got a little bit of rain coming down, huh?
You know, I'm looking out and I see all these people. It's been a great crowd this afternoon. They're all leaving, and I'm like, what's up? You look up, and it's starting to rain. You don't see this every day here.
Cameron spoils the tough pitch. Yeah, it'd be your luck to be the folks sitting right behind somebody who thought to bring an umbrella. Three and 2 the count. Well, in a 16-4 ball game, right there at that inside edge, Mark Carlson says, no, I'm not going to go with that one. John Farrell is going to come out to the mound. Yeah, there's the sentiment probably of a lot of folks. Time now for the Rogers Play of the Game, brought to you by Rogers. Hello, Speed Boost. Goodbye, waiting. Another first only from Rogers.
Edwin Encarnacion connects off of John Lackey down the left field line for his second home run of the season. And he gives it a little kiss. That's a Ricky Romero bat. Second time that he has done that this season. Homered with Romero's bat.
Edwin's not going to take a chance that anybody gets away with that thing. So John Roush comes on. Pitcher number 6 for the Blue Jays this afternoon. I don't care if you're a fan or a player, you've got to be aware the entire time Ricky Romero, yeah, that ball was heading for you, but an alert coach, Torey Lovullo, with a glove not exactly on his hand, still makes the play.
Well, they finally put up some netting in front of both of these dugouts for the players. I mean, you're over there talking, you might not be paying attention. And a play just like that, a check swing, can come whistling in there. Good idea to do that right there.
John Roush with a 1-2 count. For Roush, he's 2-2 on the year. ERA at 3.65 in 25 previous games. That is one big man. And you don't realize how big he is until you stand next to him. Or see another normal sized human being standing next to him. Ball hit in the air to left field. Corey Patterson moving toward the line. He'll make the catch, and that'll do it for the Red Sox as they put 3 on the board in this 8th inning. They just keep on tacking on. They lead at 16-4. Now time for an update with Jamie Campbell in the Blackberry. Tommy Hotovy will come on to pitch. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 16-4 Red Sox on top. You can see he's just recently joined the ball club, pitched just an inning and a third.
Selected to the active big league roster from their AAA team in Pawtucket on June the 3rd. Made his major league debut that night versus Oakland. 29 years old, originally a 3rd pick by the Red Sox, 4th round, 125th overall back in 2004. He comes from down under, sidearm, sinker, slider type of pitcher. You can see it can be tough on the left-handers from coming down under like that. Went to Wichita State University. Hotovy's first batter he will face Jose Bautista gets a look at him here in the 8th inning.
Jose Bautista 0 for 3 on his afternoon. Now hitting .338. Every at bat an experience of trying to get it back together for Jose. Another good swing from Bautista as he fouls it back. Blue Jays have hit left-handers extremely well this year, much better than against the righties. Tommy Hotovy, a tough assignment here. Bautista against the left-handers hitting .364. 4 of his 20 home runs coming against southpaws. But he's only had 44 official at-bats against left-handers coming in.
They don't throw a lot of strikes to him.
They're not as flaky as a lot of people say left-handers are. Bautista has been tied by Curtis Granderson at 20 home runs. So there's some motivation. 3-1 count. Should set up a rather large swing from Jose if he gets anything in or near the strike zone. Well, he gets surprised as Hotovy finds the inside edge portion. Pitch grounded foul, third base side. Always curious the way Bautista seems to stretch that backside of the wrist with his lower back. Once again a 3-2 pitch. Just a bit inside.
(16-4). Shake off the veteran catcher who wants a fastball because you're going to trick somebody and throw a slider. Throw it behind him.
This wasn't just behind Jose Bautista. This was in movie script behind. That's not even close.
He kept calling for a fastball. 3-2. Let's go. It's 16-4. Look at this. Throws it to the on-deck circle.
Adam Lind will stand in. This one a bit inside as well. Well, Tommy Hotovy, you mentioned it. He's 29 years of age. He's been battling for years and probably wants to make the most of every hitter that he faces here. But at the same time, when you start shaking off Jason Varitek and throwing very poor pitches, then in the process, you're probably not impressing the skipper a whole lot.
First chance to pitch in the big leagues, and you're thrown to one of the better catchers in all of baseball, who's been around and knows the situation, knows the hitter. If I'm out there, I'm not shaking him off one bit.
Adam Lind offered, but not with a good swing at all on the 2-0. Tell me, Tabby, what do you think about this situation? You're the Blue Jays. You're trailing 16-4 in the 8th inning. Jose Bautista is the runner at first base, and he is not supposed to run with a first baseman playing all the way back. Lind fouls it down the left field side.
Should he go, or is that what you're asking?
Here's what I don't like. Don't like the fact that unwritten rules in Major League Baseball say that not only should the team that's leading 16-4 not run, but the team that's leading should be able to put their first baseman all the way back, play optimum defense, and you can't run. Now, to me, that's wrong, and it always has been. Now, you may feel the other way.
You know what, to tell you the truth, I never thought about it. You know?
I think you should always be able to play the game and try to get back in it. In this case, stay out of the double play possibility. Maybe pick up a run. Lynn drives one deep to left field. Crawford going back on the track now, and he'll haul it in. But, you know, I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with my perspective there, but I do not like that unwritten rule whatsoever.
I know Jim Leland, and I've got a lot of respect for Jim Leland, manager of the Tigers. You ask him that same thing. You take what the opposition gives you.
Absolutely.
If they're going to give you a base, you go ahead and take it.
You don't want to hold Bautista on? Go ahead and take the bag. Edwin Encarnacion, who homered his last at bat in the 6th inning, his second on the season, and his 2 for 3 on the afternoon, stands in. Look, I think this is professional and competitive, and I think you try until the final out. Good sweeping slider. I remember talking to Buddy Bell, a good friend of mine, who at the time was managing the Colorado Rockies. Of course, now it was an extreme situation managing at Coors Field at that time in Denver.
You're never out of a game back then, right?
But he had this situation come up on at least a couple of occasions in one season, and he wound up losing games. And the unwritten rule came into play, and he wasn't supposed to run, or he wasn't supposed to take advantage defensively. And I don't buy in. So Encarnacion down on strikes. That's 2 outs in the inning.
So his teams were up by a lot and then stopped scoring, and the team came back, and
that's correct,
and lost.
Now that's the other side of the unwritten rule. Okay, don't rub it in the face. But some managers will tell you, okay, it's 6 runs as of this inning. It's 7 runs as of this. And I don't know if there's a true standard out there. But Buddy found himself in one of those spots, and he chose to play it graciously and wound up losing a couple of ball games.
Was that before the humidor out in Colorado?
I believe it was, yes, and that's changed things a bit. But yeah, I think you should play the game out. Jose Molina 0 for 2. He's walked and scored a run. Where did that miss?
Sweeping breaking ball from Tommy Hudeby.
This has been an intriguing strike zone at times here this afternoon. Three and 1 the count. Red Sox have piled up 16 runs on 18 hits. The Blue Jays 4 runs on 6 hits. And Molina draws the 2-out walk. 2 walks in the inning. One more here with the Boston Red Sox tomorrow. We'll start it on the air at 12:30, a 107 game time, as Kyle Drabek tries to get himself back on track as he goes to the hill for the Blue Jays. He'll be posed by outstanding left-hander John Lester, an 8-game winner this year, 8-2 for the Red Sox. So join us here at the Rogers Center. Two outs, 2 on walks. Rajai Davis, who doubled in a pair back in the 4th inning, standing in. That double snapped an 0 for 23 for Davis. Hits one high in the air to center field. Easy as coming in is Jacoby Ellsbury. He'll make the catch. That'll do it for the Blue Jays in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits. They leave a pair on the walks. We go to the 9th inning. Carl Crawford leads it off for the Red Sox. newest pitcher for the Jays will get the job done. Mike McCoy comes in from second base, as he'll see how these vaunted Red Sox bats fare here in the ninth inning.
You know, no sense burning out another pitcher out of that bullpen. We've already seen 5 of them come out of the pen, so Mike McCoy going to try and figure it out. Don't have a scouting report on Mike, so just throw strikes. The rest of the defensive changes for the Blue Jays. Jason Nix shifts over to take over for Mike McCoy at second base. He started at third base. And coming off the bench, Edwin Encarnacion, who was today's designated hitter in the ball game. So no DH for the Jays.
If you're wondering, the only non-pitchers who have pitched for the Blue Jays over the history of this team, Bob Baylor did it back in 1980. He didn't fare all that well. ERA of 7.71. Craig Cusick, Rick Leach, Frank Menachino. Menachino comes out with an ERA of nothing but zeros. We'll see how Mike McCoy does as he misses under the knees. Radar gun has that heater at 76. Oh, Crawford will be out in front a bit. Waves and misses. Did you ever face a non-pitcher in a ball game?
Yes. I can't remember who it was, and I was embarrassed if I didn't get a hit.
Another swing and a miss here by Crawford, and a swing and a miss as well by Molina.
Mess up their timing a little bit. It's almost like a speed of a knuckleball.
Yeah.
Low 70s.
You make a great comment, because it's the way I felt about it. Well, breaking ball popped up into shallow left field. Escobar calling and makes the catch in front of Corey Patterson. So McCoy retires his first batter in the big leagues. It's that feeling of, oh dear, everybody's expecting me to hit one 600 feet right now. Let's see how this goes.
A little dipsy-do, backdoor breaking ball.
That'll bring up Marco Scutaro, who's 4 for 5 on the afternoon. And Mike's throwing strikes. Kind of looks like a nice batting practice speed. Drops that curveball all the way down to 60. I think Mike McCoy benefited from more outside corner there than any other pitcher has on the afternoon. This ball's hit on a line into left center field. Patterson's there, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs for Mike McCoy.
Scutaro hit it hard to left field, but he'll end his day with 4 hits. Watch the reaction for Marco Scutaro after he hits it. Saying, okay, he got me.
Well, he got a smile. JD Drew stands in and swings and misses on the first one. Teammates are riding you hard when you come back to the dugout. Oh, hitters are just having a hard time staying back.
They're messing up their timing. Maybe that'll work for tomorrow.
What remains of this big crowd at the Rogers Center having some fun with Mike McCoy.
You know what you don't want to do is get so excited. You want to stay in the moment and remember where you are. You don't want to get too excited and try and snap off a breaking ball. That's where injuries happen.
Slow curveball grounded to second. Jason Nix is over there. He'll make the play, and Mike McCoy records the second 1-2-3 of the inning against Red Sox hitters. So Mike McCoy has that 0 ERA in his books. It's 16-4 Boston as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Come join us at the Rogers Center tomorrow afternoon as the Blue Jays and Red Sox continue this 3-game series. It's a 107 game time. Kyle Drabek takes his 4-4 mark to the hill against 8-2 left-hander John Lester. The slugging Boston Red Sox. They are showing what they are made of here in this series. Again, a 107 start. John Lester and Kyle Drabek. There's the number to call, 416-341-1234. You can do it online at bluejays.com. And always a simple way to pick up your tickets to join us at the Rogers Center. And hero of the moment, Mike McCoy, will bat second here in this 9th inning. Your pitcher on for the Red Sox.
Michael Bowden takes over for the Boston Red Sox. In 2005, the Red Sox had a lot of draft picks, and some of the players that they picked in that draft, Clay Buchholz, Jacoby Ellsbury, Jed Lowry, Michael Bowden was the player picked in that draft. Bowden was picked in the first round. Supplemental 47th overall in 2005. What a haul they got that year. And it hasn't really worked out for him. He's big, he's strong, he throws hard, but his command has been problems. Why he hasn't been able to succeed here in the big leagues. Recalled from AAA Pawtucket prior to last night's game. This is his 3rd stint with the Red Sox this season.
Well, the right-hander brings it from the stretch. The first pitch misses on Jason Hicks, who's 0 for 3 on the afternoon. I've never fully bought into the big body, therefore hard thrower story that a lot of scouts will fall into. Pitch is popped up on the infield. Catcher and third baseman, and now the third baseman making the play. Jed Lowry records out number 1.
The pitcher, number 18, Mike McCoy.
They love him here at the Rogers Center. Mike McCoy pitches a 1-2-3 shutout 9th inning against these Red Sox. Brandon Morrow had a 1-2-3 second. Those the only 2 times this afternoon the Blue Jays pitching could turn that one. And Mike takes a strike. Just 6 Toronto hits here this afternoon. 2 for Adam Lind, 2 for Encarnacion. Ball grounded to second base. Pedroia on to first base, and that's 2 down here in the 9th. Yunel Escobar 0 for 3 on his afternoon. Way back in the first inning, over 3.5 hours ago, Escobar drew a walk, but since then 0 for 3 on the day. Escobar with that batting average at .282. The one bit of good news on the day for the Blue Jays is that it appears that Yunel is healthy. Other than that, it would be hard to come up with something real positive on this Saturday afternoon.
Time to forget about this one and get ready for tomorrow's game.
Two balls and a strike. Bowden to the plate. Three and one on Escobar. 4 walks have been issued to Blue Jays hitters this afternoon, but it's been all Red Sox. And now 5. Escobar draws the 2-out walk, brings up Corey Patterson. Terry Francona, like any other manager, won't like 2-out walks, but in this scenario, he has enjoyed quite a hitting afternoon by his Red Sox club. '18 Boston hits, supplying the 16 runs. Home runs by Ortiz, Veritek, and each of those 3-run shots Patterson sees the count move to 2-1, and each of those 3-run home runs coming in the 7-run 5th inning. That's when the Red Sox blew it open. Patterson pops it up. This should do it at third base. Lowry calling, and he'll make the catch. So that puts the Blue Jays away officially as the Red Sox win it 16-4. John Lackey picks up the win, and Brandon Morrow sucks up the loss here this afternoon. A tough one for the Blue Jays as they've lost 2 straight now to Boston. Blue Jays now 6.5 games back in the tough East. And now we go to Connected.